brand new banger.
I'm like, yo, man, this is bullshit and blah blah blah. He's like, hey, man, maybe it's meant for a reason.
Always thought of it like that, bro. You really fucked up.
Like, I can't get rid of this thing.
Life was easy. Fuck out my face.
Yeah, but it was. I expect you to do the bare minimum, because then what's the point?
True. To do that, I went and got one from the aisle, you dumb fuck.
And shut the fuck up and lay low.
You're female, like you could work your charms in certain situations that I wouldn't be able to. You know how much free shit you gotten? Shit. One said word to mama, shit. Oh, got him. We understand it's gonna bother you. Some of us went through it. Some of us are gonna go through it. Well, we wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to go that deep with you. You don't really know what you want to share, my heart.
No, look cock. Send hook, send cock.
I do not agree with these guys. Word.
Get the fuck out of here and do something important.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. We don't want you here, asshole.
Get the fuck out of here. Don't you come back.
I stay loose, I stay hype. I stay loose, I stay hype. I stay loose, I stay hype. I could do this all night, cause I do what I like. Yeah, I do what I like. Yeah, I do what I like. Sipping goose, sip is right. And I go with the flow. Yeah, I go with the flow. Yeah, I go with the flow. Cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go. In the zone, here I go. In the zone, here I go. Yeah, they know I'm a pro. Let's go, let's go! Yeah! Let's go! Here I go, I get lit, I get hyped for this shit! Right.
Word. He be like, I got a left elbow and a right elbow. I can break your face with any elbow. Make sure that you get elbowed in your elbow with an elbow. Got the arm bar, get the phone ball, get around with the bomb with the bomb ball.
Daddy's gonna take you to Jersey Shore.
Yo, it's Friday night. You know what that means? The Toe in the Show with Ray. What's going on, Ray? How you doing, brother?
Much, bro. Nothing much. We back in the studio here. Got the little normal look, though. Shit, we're talking about it off air. Saturday was fun. I think
it was.
Everyone that tuned in, because I was surprised. I'm not gonna lie, especially we had some technical difficulties, but after the fact, when we're getting everything running, when we're going into it, and the fact that y'all stood with us and chilled with us, because it was just a vibe. It was a nice time. We had our drinks. We were feeling nice, and it was a good time. We definitely we're in the works of trying to make that happen a little more often, because it was cool to get to have the whole Knucklehead fam there, minus a few. Unfortunately, it's going to take a little bit to be able to get cabs to come through, and Kenny is a busy man. So hopefully we can make it happen so we can have the whole Knucklehead crew again to do one of those, because that shit was fun.
Yeah, man, we was looking good, feeling good, all that shit, man. No,
I was feeling good till Gigi pulled my hair. That shit wasn't good.
I mean, it was good for us.
I was painful. I was painful. But man, but how you feeling? How's everything?
Feeling good, man.
Already. He's feeling good, but dies 2 seconds.
Him gone. I'm feeling good, man. I mean, like, my voice is going in and out just because, you know, my throat be dry and shit like that. But other than that,
gotcha.
I'm good. Like, you know, I'm excited for doing more of the in-person fucking shows. I'm actually looking forward to actually investing in shit so we can make that happen.
Gotcha. No, definitely. Again, that was something where last week it felt so cool to get to do something like that. Which is something like I would love. Like, the dream is definitely to be able to have our own studio and shit. The dream is definitely to be able to do this where we can have people come in, do like you're familiar with Sam Roberts, right? With what he does with Sirius XM and all that. Like he brings a lot of
The dude from WWE with the red afro.
yeah, that dude.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, but before he even got to WWE, like he was doing that a lot. Like he was bringing people. He had his own. He grew from stuff like this, but then got into his own studio, and he brings fucking wrestlers, brings actors, brings a little bit of everything. And I think that's one of the main reasons WWE picked him up was because he was doing it that way. And to me, being able to do that in person, it just feels so different. Like
Yeah,
it's more of that actual, I feel like natural conversation. And especially for what we do, like I feel like it would be so good because all we're doing now is just recording a convo. But it's just like we're like a normal bullshit that we would do when we see people at shows. Like,
yeah,
and that's the best thing about it. It feels so organic. Like last week, legit. At one point, I'm like, oh wait, fuck, we gotta remember there's a chat. Like at certain points,
yeah,
we just
yeah.
kept going, and we would notice, oh shit, there's a whole paragraph here. One sec. So and so says this. Like just that moment of like, oh yeah, people are watching though. Like
Yeah. I mean, but that's the best part of it. Like I mean, in my head, I pictured us setting up faster and like better,
no.
but in reality, this is what we had to do. This is how we made it work, and fuck it.
And again, we're also gonna always want to be perfectionists, and we would hope it goes this way and works out this way. But it was cool, like watching it back because I watched it back the next day because I was like, let me see if I remember everything we talked about because I was also a little under the influence. But seeing it back again, could it the picture been a little clearer? Of course, but it's a trial and
Yeah,
error situation. Like the audio never faded, in my opinion. Like it felt like it worked well. And there's always gonna be things we could improve on, things we could maybe make better. But for a first
yeah,
time getting to do something like that, it worked better than I thought. And for us to be able to do it for that many hours too, I was like, that worked. Because I remember at one point we were like, we're about to have the best 40 minutes, and this computer about to die. And then it was like, wait, we can do this. All right, let's see how this works. And again, it worked out. It worked out for the best. Like I said, we'll definitely try to. We're gonna look into seeing how we can make that become more of a common thing. But till then, thank you guys for always supporting, being here on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, sometimes Fridays, sometimes Saturday, depending on the week. Today it's gonna be a Friday edition because unfortunately I will not be available tomorrow. I'll be doing the commentary goodness at Wrestling Is Now as we kick off the new year with Heart Attack. Um, I would love to have an answer for why the show's name is Heart Attack. I unfortunately do not. Some people have asked me, like, is a heart gonna be there? Why is the show named Heart Attack?
because the dude that's running is gonna have a fucking stroke.
I hope not. But with how stressful tomorrow seems like it might be, I don't know. Because that's always the thing about shows. Like I love show week. I love the prep. I love all that shit. But
Yeah,
when it comes to day of, bro, that's stress. Fucking. Hey, there we go.
Valentine's Day.
There we go. We got skills in the building.
Okay,
There we
so
go.
it's named Heart Attack for Valentine's Day.
There we go. He would know
Okay,
because that is one of the boss man's behind. We got wrestling is now. We got the one of the co-founders there. Got skills in the building. But like I said,
be
the
prepared to have your Valentine's leave you on that day.
well they might because if they see the action, they're gonna have again. We got Steve Benya in the building.
They're gonna have
He
a
might
heart
take your
attack.
he might take your Valentine away. You never know.
That's
He
true.
might take your Valentine away tomorrow.
I seen him do it.
We got big AC Romero in the building
Hey,
challenging for the wrestling is now heavyweight championship. A guy you like very much, Joey Conway, the
oh
defending
yeah,
champion, will be defending against Ace Romero tomorrow.
that's my guy.
We got a lot of confrontations are gonna be happening tomorrow.
We're gonna
Skills
go chancleta shopping tomorrow.
we gotta Skills gotta get ready because he has the end looking to confront him tomorrow. We got
The
Face in the
the
building
end.
tomorrow. Yeah, the end. Yeah, those guys that
Oh,
attack.
the end.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought you meant like the letter N. I was like, is that
No, no,
short for
no. The
something?
end. The end.
Are you trying to be racist,
No,
Ray?
I'm not. I'm trying to let
Is
you
it that
know.
nigga?
Jesus. But no,
Come on, Ray.
the end is
This is a
confronting the
this is a
SAT
child.
tomorrow.
It's a child show, Ray.
Jesus. We got Face in the building tomorrow. He'll be taking on the legendary, the iconic WCW's own Crowbar will be in the building.
Okay.
Former WCW hardcore champion. That is still the most wildest thing to me about tomorrow. Is getting to say I get to call a match featuring Crowbar. Like that is wild. To be able to say I get to call a match featuring Crowbar in a championship match because he'll be challenging Face for that Wrestling Is Now Invitational Championship. Again, it shows what that title is about. It's about the best coming to challenge for it. It could be from anywhere, any company, any country, all around the world. You never know who can show up to try to challenge for that invitational title. And again, it just starts tomorrow. Tomorrow's the kickoff of the new year. Already confirmed. We're back in that same building on 420. So it's gonna be a blast. I can't wait.
Hey, 420.
Hey, I think Gigi might want to go to that show for reasons.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a good. It's gonna be a good time. The Wrestling Is Now is 420 friendly. So come on down, have a good time, and then watch some wrestling. So wrestling. But yeah, so I can't wait for tomorrow. Like I said, those pre-show jitters, those pre-show nerves start to kick in. But once that first bell, we're in there. It's gonna be a good time. So
Shit, that sounds good though.
no, yeah. Again, like I said, I'm looking forward to it. The card is stacked. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I just posted that video now to remind people to go get your tickets because tickets are still available. There are a few. I believe we're down to 4 front row left, so we're almost there to a nice sellout front row. Rest are going to be GA, so it's going to be that first come first serve. Make sure you're in the building early. Stop by, get you some Mac patties because we got some sponsorships from Dad's Deli in the building.
Hey,
we'll have the empanadas again from the last show. It's gonna be a good time. Good food, good wrestling, good drinks because that bar is always open. So definitely come on through tomorrow. But what's going on, Leon? What's up?
Shit, and this is in the Elk Lodge, right?
Yep, we're back at the Elks tomorrow.
Yeah, you're gonna want a front row seat. Yep. Remember, if a wrestler lands on your lap, you take him home.
No, that is not how that works.
Oh, believe you me, I sat wherever Cosmic was gonna jump out the ring. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man,
he knows.
See, wait. So let's scramble back to last week.
Yeah.
So if I would have fell into someone's lap, are you telling me they get to take me home?
Yep. That's what you sign up for. That's the reason why the doctors check you out.
Well then,
that is the reason why the doctors check you out.
Because I almost fell into someone's lap. Remember, I got drop kicked by Deshaun Pratt. I almost fell into the first row. So that lovely couple that was there could have taken me home if they wanted.
Yeah, they could have had a ray of their own.
Damn, that's not good because then I couldn't do the podcast. I'll be in a random person's.
And we're like, you are the sunshine of my life. Yeah.
Well then, but have you ever been to BPW? No, Leon. Unfortunately, we have not. Could you tell us what does the BPW stand for though? Because there's a lot of companies out here, so I don't know if maybe
Black Pride Wrestling
could be a company. Never know. But let us know, Leon. Let us know what does that stand for there, so that way we can see.
Bubble
maybe we know
wrestling.
Hey yo.
Hey yo.
But let's see.
Blue puberty wrestling.
I thought you were gonna say blue people, like just the blue. It's just a company with the Blue Man Group. That's all it is.
I was gonna say blue female body part, but I'm in the green pussy, so. Yo, dude, you ever seen? You've seen it.
We've
movies been where these girls are green and shit. Yo, Zoe's out there could get it on her own, but the minute they painted her green, I said, "Wait a minute, there's something there."
Oh man, I was gonna say we've talked about this on the comic podcast a few times, so we definitely know this.
That's Junior.
But yeah.
Shit. I don't know what the fuck. My eyelash, yo, it's crazy. People like, yo, I love your eyelashes. Can I have them? Like, take them. They fucking fall off. Be bothering my fucking eyes and shit.
Yo, ain't that the worst when you feel like you got something in your eye and then you do
Yeah.
one of these and then it starts fucking falling and it's like, what the fuck? Like, it's making it worse instead of better.
Yeah, you fucking whore.
Like, why the fuck is this happening?
You don't know what it's like to have nice lashes, woman. Yo,
Jesus.
speaking of lashes, Gigi was like, "Oh, I forgot to do my mascara and this and that," and I said, "Gigi, I don't even notice that you don't have that on. Like, you're all right." And she's
Wait,
like,
when?
"No, I get it, but I feel incomplete." I was like, "All right, on that, I get it. You know, when you have a routine and you don't do your routine, you feel like, all right, I get that.
Oh no, of
That
course.
I
Like
get.
it's one of those where it's like it's needed. You know, you need
Yeah.
that. You need that because it's part of that. It's something like if you don't do it, it's like something's missing.
Yeah, it's
And
like
when
not
was that
having socks on.
for the show last week?
Yeah,
Ah, okay.
because she took an extra hour to get there, but she was rushing, so she missed some shit.
Oh shit! Yeah,
It's like,
that's how I was like, yo.
that's what you
Like,
call rushing.
I was like, hey, so I'm not gonna be able to sit with y'all because I got some things I gotta handle back here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's because you didn't want to be with us fucking Puerto Ricans.
That is not why. I was trying to
That's
get
what you
out of
said.
wrestling, man. I was taking my time looking at everyone like this person will take my spot. They didn't
That's
want.
what you said. You said, I'm trying to get rid of you Puerto Rican.
I did not say that. I tried to ask everyone and anyone and everyone if they would take my spot, and no one said yes. Fuck it. I asked Jorge Santi. He said no.
He had a match.
But I thought he would take my spot, man. He's cool with us. He's a good guy.
He's cool
He
with
understands
me.
game. He's cool with me too.
But you gotta live up to your own. You think the king is gonna go down to peasant level? That's the
I
king
talked
right
to
there.
two people that are royalty. I talked to him. I talked to Richard Adonis. Both said no.
See?
Richard Adonis laughed in my face. That was disrespectful. So many levels.
Word.
Then I tried to talk. I tried to
You
talk
should
to
have
White
spoke to
Mike.
Adrian Adonis.
He probably would have said yes.
Yeah, knowing him the way I do.
It was hard to find him though. I don't know how to. I gotta get in contact with him.
That's true.
But yeah, I tried to talk to him. I tried to talk to White Mike. White Mike said no.
See, that's the problem. You call him White Mike. You gotta call him Caucasian Mike.
That might next time.
You
Next time.
can't hurt his fucking feelings, bro.
No, but that it says it on his singlet. It says White Mike.
Yeah, but only he can call himself White Mike.
See,
How would you like it if people called you Red-Headed Ray?
touche. Yeah, well, Gigi does that now. It's messed up.
Yeah, no, she does that to
Stomped on
remind
me.
you of you.
Pulled on my hair. Even though now that I'm noticing, I do have to re-dye it this week because the black is starting to come out. So I'm gonna have to re-dye it this week. I'm gonna touch up the red. So more red coming to the hair.
That's it. You gotta add a pink. You gotta get pink frosted tips.
Just for Valentine's Day? Just for
Yeah.
for next week?
I would do that to my hair, but I ain't trying to steal your style.
Got you. Appreciate it. Much appreciated. But yeah. So what's on our agenda today? What are we discussing today? What's on the docket here? Also, why the fuck is that shit moving on its own? That was creepy as hell. I have a random knife, I guess, from what I used this morning for breakfast. And for some reason it was moving on its own. That shit was creepy as hell.
Oh, okay.
Well then.
You're just gonna move knives now.
Apparently it just started moving on its own. That shit was creepy. But yeah, so back to what are we discussing today? What's on our docket for the Tell Him the Show with Ray?
Yeah, shit. To be honest with you, I'm tired, so I'm drawing blanks. But
Got you.
that was the whole week. But when we started and I started listening to shit, I wanted to ask you your opinion on one of the topics that we discussed in the intro.
Got you.
Do you feel that life is, I don't want to say predetermined, but life does things on purpose?
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
like
Okay. So
when you're not meant for something,
yeah,
life finds a way for you not to have it.
I see this one. This one's a fucking good topic. This is about to be a nice convo here because
Oh.
for me, I feel like I don't want to say it's written already, but I want to say a lot of our journey's already it's already there.
Yeah.
It just takes us to get there. Like a lot of this is already in a sense it's already planned. I don't
Yeah.
want to say it's like predetermined, but it's like it's things are gonna happen because they're meant to happen. And a lot of things again, you start to see, you're like, maybe it just wasn't in the cards for me to have this or to do this. But this is what I needed to do. Those type of things.
Yeah.
And it works out. Again, end of it is this is what's to use the phrase, this is what our story entails.
Yeah.
Like
Nah, yeah.
there's no finishing the story, hopefully, yet. Because we don't want that story to end yet, but we want our story to go a certain way. But our story is already meant to go this way. We just have
Oh,
to
yeah.
see how we get there. But yeah, I feel like at times we try to choose our own way, and it could be because there's more ways to get to one destination. But I feel like that destination is already planned for you. If you catch my
Yeah.
drift.
Nah, I hear you. I hear you. I do believe that things happen for a reason,
Yeah.
right? And that particular conversation in the intro is talking about my experience with the MTA because I was trying to become a bus driver.
Yeah, and they told you, unfortunately,
Yeah, my
not to
neck was
start
too.
the neck.
Yeah,
That,
I had a grown man's neck, and
what's
you can't
crazy
have
is
a grown.
I've seen like the backlog. I've heard the episode where you explain it, and to this day, I'm still like, how does that make sense? Like, how? How does like out of all reasons to be like, nope, you can't drive a bus. Like maybe one of those reasons could be, wait, you don't have a license. How the fuck are you driving a bus? Maybe that.
Yeah,
But or maybe you have vision problems. That
yeah.
makes sense.
You have narcolepsy.
That. But a big neck. How? Like I when you said you had to do a sleep study, I'm like, what does that have to what?
Yeah, I'm over here like, nah, I fall asleep perfectly fucking fine. I
Like,
don't have a problem falling asleep. I fall asleep right now.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Shit.
like that was I'm like, bro, I still don't get it. But hey, maybe again, it wasn't in your cards. Who would have known if you would have followed that path? What would have happened? Would we still have the podcast here?
Yeah.
Would you still
Yeah.
be able to do the things you like? Because your schedule would have probably been a little more hectic with that. You might
Yeah.
not be able to go to as many shows that you would like, or be able to do the things you want to do. Like,
Shit. My one of my boys, he was a bus driver. He was telling me like, "Yo, let me know when this happens and blah blah blah." He was gonna help me out with the process. And I don't want to say I don't want to say he's miserable because I don't know him like that. He's a boy of a boy, but he sure as hell ain't the same as he was before he was a bus driver. You know, like the money's there, but the overtime is crazy. Like, the people are fucked, like the people on the bus are fucking
no,
rude and all that other shit.
no.
And if there's something I know is that I have patience, but I don't have that much patience.
Yeah, that's
You know, you,
where
you, you
I don't know how you would react to having to deal with
yeah.
certain people. Pootie,
What up,
yo,
Pootie?
congrats on that 25K, Pootie.
Word.
Even though, yo, what happened? You gotta be at 30K by now, bro. Let's
Word, you
go.
lazy motherfucker.
But no, man, congrats. Big
Yeah,
fucking accomplishment right there, man. Jesus. Save some for us, man. We gotta get to that 1K at least.
for real, yeah.
Yo, send us our way. Tell them to subscribe to the Knuckleheads. Tell them to subscribe to Respect the Craft. Kenny got his 1K already, so tell him
Nice.
tell the call up people to come through over here.
That's
This
why
is-
Kenny left us. He's like, nah, man, I can't be with them under 1K people.
Yo, facts. The minute we get back to 1K, K's gonna come back.
Yeah, he
Gotta get
gonna
to
be
1K.
like, please let me get back on the toe in the show.
Yo, it took me this long to finally get 1K on Twitter. I
Shit.
finally hit. I think I'm at 1,004 people now. So there we go.
Nice. I don't even
Well,
know how to fucking. To be honest with you,
Yep.
I stopped trying to grow on any social media. I don't know what I'm just posting up videos and shit that I'm doing, and I don't know if it was the clips of the week or the tips of the day or something. But we got like four subscribers to the YouTube
Hey.
in the past week. So I was like, all right, cool, something's working, but I have no idea what the fuck it was, and I'm tired of trying to figure it out. So
Facts. No, but again, something's working.
yeah.
For socials, bro, I don't know what works anymore. Like I know what gets me likes. Like when I do these reels and
Yeah.
stuff like that, it gets me likes. But out of nowhere, my Instagram started growing. Like this last year and a half, like my Instagram blew up. I finally hit that 1K. And then the minute I hit 1K, it just kept going. Like now, like I'm checking my number now. I'm at 1282. 1,282. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, I bet. Like I'm decently like every week at least growing 1 or 2 followers. So it's like I don't know what the algorithm is anymore. Like the algorithms fucking change every other day. But something we're doing is working. So that's at least a good sign, I guess. Hopefully. But
Yeah.
hey, we
Hopefully,
in there.
man.
We in there.
Word.
But yeah, man. Which you know what's funny? This is a question I wanted to ask last week when I had everyone in there, but again, we went off the rails at one point. At one point, I thought Gigi was about to fight Hoch. At one point, I thought we were all about to have a deep, meaningful cry because that's where the convo was going.
Yo, but I told everybody in the car, I said, no matter what anybody says, we don't take none of that shit personal. And then when Gigi did the wait a minute, I was like, yo, I'm gonna get something to drink. Y'all want something?
Yo, I was about to follow you because that's why, every time it got really like, oh, let me take a sip of this lemonade that has no alcohol, but I'm gonna act like it does. Because I was like,
Right.
I don't want to get too tipsy because I knew we still had a long ride to go. I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I don't want to get fucked up because I don't want to bust my ass trying to get back home.
Nah, I hear you.
So, but every time we would get to there, I'm like, let me sip this lemonade like there is alcohol in here. This
Yo,
is about to be a fight.
word. Speaking of lemonade, yo, when your new girlfriend tells you that she's pregnant, this is how you respond, Ray. You ready for this?
Bet.
All right.
Girl, I'm leaving you tomorrow.
That's how you respond.
This is hard. It's not easy.
Easy like a Sunday morning.
Oh, it's fucked up. No, ladies and gentlemen, we do not do this.
I
If
do.
I would, if a girl told me she was pregnant, it's like, well,
I did it
you left
because I didn't have sex with her. So how the fuck?
Oh, okay.
You know
I
what I'm
was gonna
saying?
say, wait, are you admitting to having a child just somewhere in the world? Oh, there's a
I
little.
would have
Oh,
once, but then it was confirmed.
oh,
I
man.
didn't take ownership of that. Nah.
Yes.
Nah, but yeah, nah. I was like, you can't have a baby through head, so I'm out.
Yeah, nah, that's
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm at 800 and that was I was trying to go to Instagram to find my follower list. And I just get it. I was like, oh, I get an email and Bleaks hits me up. He's like, oh, okay, let's see what this is. And I'm leaving you tomorrow. I'm like, oh shit. Yo, Ray, the next time you gotta go pregnant.
That's it. That's what we do. It's just
That's
like,
it. Yeah, so I'm at 833.
Got you.
To be honest with you, I have no idea how that works. No idea how that is. I think 200 of those are the fucking sex bots. But we'll take whatever we can get.
See, that's my thing with Twitter. I block a lot of those Because with Twitter, if you don't, you start just getting that. Like if you let one, you'll get another one and another one and another one and another one and another one. Like you'll just keep spamming. With Instagram, maybe every other one I'll block just so the numbers don't fuck up. Because if you start blocking too much, then it fucks up your
Mm.
shit. Like then
That-
it starts to go crazy.
That's another thing. It's like the AI is gonna tell me how to live my life.
Bro, it does that now. Yo, look at what it did the other day. For Facebook. I was trying to promote the show that's happening tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, this seems like an ungenuine post. I'm like, wait, what? How is this an
Damn.
ungenuine? What does that mean? It's like, oh, you're spamming. I go to the thing like how to fucking fight that. Oh, is it this? Is it? I'm like, so you don't even give an option to fight it because all the
Nope.
options are like, it has to be. Oh, this post is a joke. It's it's a bunch of bullshit reasons. I'm like, none of that falls on this. It's like, why do you give the option to create an event page to do this, but then you can't promote said event? Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I guess I can't promote on Facebook. But then you try to promote on Instagram. If you tag too many people, it now starts flagging shit. Because that's why it gives people it tells people the thing of, oh, check your tag settings. Because now it's trying to say people are tagging or spamming tags.
Oh, okay. So now I gotta. I don't know how to work any of that shit.
Yeah. So it's like, bro, this shit is fucking wild. Like, social media wants us to stop using it the way it's supposed to be used in a sense.
Yeah, because everybody's like, you gotta tag people, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. And I noticed like when I tag Bobby Lashley, that's when more people watch it than when I don't. And I'm like, all right, I don't know. Listen, Mercedes, I tagged you. Guarantee. Cause she pops up on my thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how I tag all of y'all every post. None of y'all are there, but Mercedes is the first one. I was like, fuck it.
I think it's based off who you like. I guess who you search and shit like that. I don't know. Again, bro. Sometimes I'm like, yo, the post legit. I've tagged them in the write up, and I'm
Yeah.
going to tag them in the image or the video or whatever it is. You would think that would be the first person to pop up. Nope, it's a random
Yeah.
thing that I just looked up a while ago. I'm like, why the fuck is that not the first option? Like you would think it would predict, oh, if you
Yeah.
tag them in the write up, maybe you're gonna tag them in the actual image.
Yeah.
Maybe that makes sense.
Shit. Yo.
Apparently not.
And going back to the whole thing, everything happens for a reason shit.
Yeah.
I post Cap's video about Cody and
Yeah.
then we get the one guy just commenting, and I know G's like, oh, we could block him. In my head, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna block him because I'm having fun making him look stupid. But people are engaging in that.
Yeah. But
And it's funny, no one was engaging in mine, and I basically told everybody to go fuck themselves. It's like, are they afraid to engage with mine, or am I just too straightforward? Niggas can't argue the facts.
that could be it. And that's the thing. You noticed a lot of it is they create their own narrative with
Yeah.
it. Which going back to again choosing the destination, we're still getting there. No matter what.
Yeah.
I don't what road you want to take. The story ends. But it's one of those. It's one of those where this whole situation, no matter what, I was having this convo with a buddy of mine today, and I'm like, the reason people are so mad about all of this is because they feel like, no, it had to be done this way for me to like it. It's like, no, that would have been the predictable route.
Yeah.
Like the one time they're like, fuck it, we're gonna see what sticks, and if not, we'll do this other thing. That's wrestling. Card subject to change is on every fucking flyer ever.
Yeah, and
That
when
doesn't just because it's WWE, that doesn't change that.
Yeah, I don't know if you caught the rest of the show after you got off yesterday. I told Gigi, I said, with all these fuck ups, they're having an opportunity to capitalize on them.
Yeah,
but
no,
they
they
have
do.
to capitalize on it. Otherwise, they're just gonna fuck up to fuck up. They're making so many mistakes. They're gonna be successful. But you can make so many mistakes and be a mistake. But like this WrestleMania could be the most defined WrestleMania before we get to WrestleMania.
Bro, this could be, and it's setting up to be the biggest Mania ever, possibly.
Yeah,
The only thing they have to do is just get there. Stop worrying about this and this and this and this.
yeah.
The funny thing about this now, and I don't think it could happen because someone kept putting that out there today, and I'm like, I don't think it could happen. I don't think this guy can still work because he has a heart condition. But now
Triple H,
they're talking about could Triple H come out of it retirement for one match?
yo,
If he does,
get Goldberg to wrestle in Triple H's shoes.
if he does, imagine this card now of Cody versus Roman, Rock versus Triple H, Seth versus, I'm guessing, Drew now?
Yeah, it's
Because
looking like
is
that.
Gunther even in the chamber qualifiers?
No,
They put out a chamber qualifier
there's
earlier.
there's a
Gunther's not in it.
no, there's a possibility that it's gonna be Gunther versus Jay at Elimination Chamber, or Gunther versus Jay at WrestleMania.
I don't mind that. My thing is, fuck, I still kind of want to see Uso versus Uso, but
Yeah, it could
I
have
won't.
been
I don't mind.
Jay Uso versus the Uso Roman Reigns.
No, not that Uso. I wanted Jimmy versus Jay. But
Day
if it's
one
Jay,
ish.
if it's Jay versus Gunther, I don't mind it either. Because fuck it, let Jay get an IC title win. Let him mean something. Let him get something there. But the card is looking amazing. Again, that kickoff yesterday, it left us with more questions than answers. Like, damn, they have a lot of family members. Solo Sikoa's real last name is Yokozuna.
Middle name.
Middle name, sorry. That was interesting.
Hey.
Like, and The Rock slapped the shit out of Cody.
Yeah.
And Punk
Apparently he broke his fucking hand on Cody's face.
Bro, that was the one thing I told you when we got on here. I'm like, yo, did The Rock fuck up his hand? Because my son said, "Bakata," and then was like, wait, what? Did you just fuck up your arm?
Yeah, even my brother was saying that shit. But yeah, going back to everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
It's getting blurry all of a sudden. Give me one. Jesus, why is
then your camera's drunk.
What? I don't know why it got out of focus. That shit is weird as hell. Give me one sec, ladies and gentlemen. But there we go.
There you go.
There we go. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know why I got out of focus. Like legit, I haven't moved it.
Yeah.
But
that happens. Shit happens for a reason.
It's part of the plan, man.
Yeah, right. But yo, I do believe everybody has free will and you choose what path you take. But sometimes when you're on the right path or you're on a path that you should be, that's when fate or life comes around and goes, yeah, you're not gonna do this.
Yeah.
You know? Because like I applied to be a cop and I never got my test results back.
Oh shit.
And then I tried to be a cop again, but this is right after George Floyd, or during the George Floyd thing, and they actually hit me back up, and they're like, "Yo, we want you to take the psych," and I'm like, "Nah," because I'm hearing stories like people are spitting on cops, and I'm like, I tell people, I'm a man first. Fuck that, you ain't spitting on me. I know my temperament. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I try to be a track worker, bus driver, all that shit, and there was always something. Always something, and it's pushing. It kept me where I'm at, but I got to work on this. We evolved the game. We evolved what we do in the shows and everything we're putting out. And now we're testing the waters with shit, and we see how people are reacting to it. And it's one of those things where I'm like, damn. And then now there's opportunity to advance and not change much. So let's see how that works.
Yeah, and again, it's one of those where maybe that is in our cards. Hopefully it works out. That is what we're meant to do. Like I look at that And it's one of those where and I think we talked about this. One of the first times I was on here was me in wrestling, and I still don't know what it is. What is my story for wrestling? Am I ever meant to get back into the ring? Am I meant to just do commentary? Am I meant to just do this? To do journalism in a sense for wrestling? Because no matter what, when I've tried to do other things or when I've tried to leave wrestling, I somehow come back.
Yeah.
Like it is funny. Like today, you know how Facebook gives you Facebook memories. Like, oh, if you posted this or you did this,
Yeah.
this 2 years ago. No, 3 now technically, because it was 2021. On February 9th, which is today, I posted I was done with wrestling. I don't remember why. Legit, I don't remember why. And I'm like,
Cody's story. John Cena
why did I
came
quit?
back.
Why did I quit wrestling? And I'm like, the
Hogan
funny
said
thing
nigga.
is, I started looking at my posts like from days after, and I'm like, yo, this break didn't last long. And it's like I've done that multiple times though. That I'm like, I'm done. Like I want to focus on other things. I want to focus on other projects, whatever. And somehow I end up back in wrestling. Like I've had, unfortunately, medical scares. I've had this where I'm like, you know what? Fuck wrestling, fuck the podcasting, all that. I need to focus on doing other things. And
Yeah.
somehow we're back here. And I'm always back around the ring. I'm back around doing this. Like, doing that shit last week, as much as we'll fuck around and be like, yo, I got my ass kicked, this and ever. I was happy doing that again. Getting to perform, getting to be out there, seeing y'all fucking react, hearing the crowd actually want to see me get in the ring. Like that shit, I was like, it felt right, but it didn't at the same time, if that makes sense. Like it felt right getting to do it. It didn't feel right because to me, I don't think it was my time yet.
You didn't feel ready.
Yeah. Like I knew, like knowing myself, like I joked about it. I was like, shit, if my trainer saw me today, he would have been pissed at my selling or this and that. And in my head, I'm like, I'm watching it back and I'm pissed at what I did. Like I was happy because it was like, oh shit, I got to do this. Fucking I had an entrance. Fucking Shane ring announced me, which that shit was
Yeah.
funny as hell because he actually said from Bed-Stuy do or die. Like we joked about it in the back. I'm like, hey, if this does happen, just say I'm from Bed-Stuy do or die. Fuck it. Who's gonna get mad?
It's
but
pronounced Brooklyn, but I get it.
yeah, but bro, it was the one time I'm gonna do this.
Nah, I feel you.
But it was one of those like, yo, this felt good, and it's that
Yeah.
moment of like, is this what I'm supposed to do? Like, wrestling is there? It's supposed to be there for me. But I was like, I don't think it's my time yet. And it was a good thing though. I feel like.
No, but here's the thing though.
Yeah.
One, the greatest teacher is experience.
Of course, yeah.
And you just got more experience. Two, the only one that knows that you fucked up is you. Because the crowd is going to assume whatever you did, unless it's blatant, was meant to happen. And also, you had fun. You know what I'm saying? So that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because listen, like I said, I'm never a wrestler. I'm not an entertainer, but I'm an entertaining person. What's going on, Tyson? And the one thing I've always learned from entertaining, or from doing, from entertaining people or trying to do this shit, it's not about the mistakes. It's not about what you could have did better. It's about the fact that you're willing to be you and have fun with it. Because if you didn't have fun in that moment, we wouldn't have had fun in that moment.
Yeah. No, I could see that. And again, now, I think it's me being critical.
No, yeah. But you have to be, because you're new at this. Like, you're not new at this. This is, you're getting back into it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to watch my streams and be like, damn, I could have did this, I could have did that. But then I'm sitting there going, but no one's complaining about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get so into it that you start losing the gist of it. But you get to, the one good thing about with wrestling is you get to polish it, because Now you get to do it again. You know what I'm saying? So you worried about your selling and all that other stuff. Well, you sold wrong now. You got that out the way. You can always do better. It's like dude, it's like an embarrassing moment.
Yeah.
When I used to play Little League Baseball, I used to swing at some shit that was on the ground. And I would be mad, but then I would tell myself, well, we got that out the way. Now I can smack one out the park. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's inevitable. It's inevitable for somebody to fuck up and do something wrong.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, to me, I felt like, again, watching it back, doing all that. And that's the thing. Like, even when we talked about this, the stream,
Yeah.
and like you're like now, like, yo, this could have been better. This could have been better. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, it worked though. People were enjoying it.
Yeah.
But because we're critical on our own work, we're gonna be like that. We're gonna fucking pick it apart.
Yeah.
And that's how it was with this. Like you heard me Saturday. Fucking, I was like, yo, that was cool. But this was good. But it's like everything is a but to it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, even now, I'm like, fuck, man, I could have done this better. I could have done that. Like people were telling me good things about the video, fucking me asking people. And I'm like, yeah, but I could have this facial better. Or I could have fucking played into it a little more and do something else where it doesn't feel like, and everyone's like, yo, but that video fucking, it did your job.
Yeah.
And like, yo, I looked at the likes. I was like, that day, I was like fucking at 70 likes before the day was over. I'm like, shit, the video did well. But to me, I'm like, fuck, I know I could have done better.
And this is where I keep telling you, experience comes in. Because I had that same issue with the tips of the day. I was doing it and like, oh, okay, yeah, because I'm getting momentum and people like the tips of the day. But in my head, I'm like, yo, I don't like the way that this is sounding or this is recording, like how it looks and all that. I was literally doing that shit. Like, we got off 5 tips a day, blah, 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 blah. Didn't edit shit, didn't do nothing, threw it up there. You know what I'm saying? So the more you do it, the more you see how you want it to be done, the more you're like, all right. But the one thing that when you're in front of the camera that you have to do is say, fuck it and go all out. You cannot hesitate in front of the camera, or you can't be like, okay, like people see when you try to go, all right, I'm going to try to be like this. You got to believe 100%. I need you to take my spot. So that's why some of the stuff that we did with Cosmic when we made that video, it's funny. People laughed at it, but I hated it because it's like, I didn't commit.
Yeah.
I didn't commit to that character. But then the other characters I did was like, all right, that's because it was one of those, I ain't got no shirt on. Fuck it, we going all out. You gonna get this thunder.
You got into it.
Yeah.
Got into it. And that was the one thing I will say with certain ones, I tried to play into that. Like with White Mike, I was like, come on, man, like you a tag team specialist. Like you know this and that type of thing. But with some, I was just like, shit, I could have been like with Santi. I feel like that could have been so much better. Like, come on, man, like you've done the podcast, you respect the craft. Like, yo, I'm not told. Like, I didn't ask this just to like something like that, to have that genuine. But again, this is what we know from now watching it back. In the moment, sometimes, unfortunately, everything's going through your head, but these little things.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck, what am I going to say? How do I say this? How did that come off? And before you know it, you just did it. And it's like, oh, fuck. Oh,
yeah, no.
Now we
But
know.
hey, dude, practice, man. You can even, this may sound crazy, but literally, you know these 6 questions of the day? The 6 rapid questions, the stupid ones? They pop in my head periodically. And then I was like, oh, I write it down. And I save it for a certain person. But I've always, when I'm in the shower or when I'm trying to sleep or whatever, for some reason, I'm always in a scenario where I'm either talking shit to Darius Carter. Like the first time I've ever met Darius Carter, me and him went at it. But I pictured like, yo, this is how he is. So this is how I got to be. Blah, 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 blah. I didn't even think of anything for Simon Miller when we did that video. But I was already on some, I'm not, because in my head, I was like, I'm here in the locker room and I'm not supposed to be here. You know what I'm saying? Even though no one told me anything. It was almost like, hey, what's going on, Toe Tag? How you doing? I know I'm not supposed to be here. So they allowed me here. So now I'm going 100%.
It was that moment of like, now I need to be comfortable here.
Yeah.
Like that moment of like, am I walking on eggshells? What am I doing? Fuck it.
Yeah,
Can't think about that. I need to
because
become.
now I'm asking for forgiveness instead of for permission.
No, and that's how you got to be. Legit. Sometimes
Yeah.
it is. I've said it best. That is the best thing to do in wrestling.
No, yeah. But with that moment, even though because it was a short moment that you had, and things could have been better. It's always you got it done. I can't say that I did that. You can.
Yeah.
No matter how you feel you did it, I can never say I did that, but
Yeah.
you can. You know what I'm saying? And there's videos of you doing it, and you did it with a bunch of people, and those people, you did your job. You did what you were supposed to do. It did, you know what I'm saying? And the next time you're up to bat, you keep swinging.
Yeah.
You're gonna miss, but you're gonna hit.
You know, no, and again, it's. I appreciate that. Like I said, for now, it's gonna be just because it's so recent. It's still that fuck. I could have done this. I could have done that. But as we get closer, as what I told you earlier, which we're gonna leave ominously here. As that gets closer, that's the goal right now. Is like be better for that.
Yeah.
Because there is no. I can't fucking bunt that. I gotta make sure at least I get a freaking first base on that one. Because if not, then that's where that fucking idea of like, is this my story? You know?
Yeah. But yo, you have to visualize success.
Yeah.
You ever heard the experiment they ran of people shooting free throws?
No.
So they had 3 sets of people.
Okay.
And they go, yo, for the next 4 weeks, the first set is not gonna do shit. The second set is gonna visualize them making free throws every day. Just visualize it. The third set is gonna practice making free throws every day. When they finally did the test after the 4 weeks, the people who visualized making the free throws and the people who practiced making the free throws had the same amount of free throws made, and the people who did nothing did the worst. So it's more important to visualize your success than to practice. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because if you can't see it, you're not gonna accomplish it. So let's say you do your thing and you visualize it, and the day comes and it's not what you visualized, but you visualize something of success. So whatever you do is gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Like I visualize, yo, can you guys say tips of the day? And I got those videos, and it was boom, 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 boom. The only thing I didn't visualize when I was doing the tips from everybody in Battle Club was having the audio on. You know what I'm saying?
That was one of those of like, this should be there.
Yeah, I should have audio line.
See, no, that was the issue.
Yeah.
You visualized it. It's there. You didn't audio line.
Yeah. Yep, that's what it is. And right now I feel like if I could find that, it would be dope if I was like, yo, this is such and such and 5 tips a day with toe tags, and just do the muted version. Let people and throw it up there and see what people think. Or just
muted episode.
Just mad.
You come into it like, yo, I don't know why he has a potty mouth right now.
Your word. Or just believe that.
No, but those are funny though. Like the ones you did at We Are Wrestling, it was great. Like getting Jarrett to do one, Gamble to do one.
Yeah.
That shit was cool.
Yeah. And then being able to tag them in it and all that shit. That's But shit works. It doesn't work. You do it. You fail. I've learned. There's plenty of times I've done stuff, and right after doing it, it's like, and you'll be surprised. Most of the time, that's what everyone likes. Everyone likes those videos where you put it like, that wasn't my best.
No, and that's the thing. For us, it isn't our best. For a lot of people, it's like, yo, I love that. I'm like, really?
Yeah. And I try to do everything in one take. Sometimes I'll mispronounce words or some shit. I'll do it 2 or 3 times, but I'd like to do one take.
Yeah. When I used to do those shorter videos, I tried to do one take for everything. I was like, fuck it. We're gonna do it one take and we'll see how it goes. I would edit around and just make sure, boom, this works. But it's still funny when a lot of the work that we do, and it's like some of the things that we're like, I don't know how I feel about this, but we're gonna see.
Yeah.
And people are like, yo, that shit was great. It's like, if you say so. Like that's my thing. Like a lot of the shit I've done for wrestling and all that, a lot of the time I'll ask people like, hey, so what do you think of this? It's like, oh yeah, that was good. I'm like, that doesn't help me. What did you think? Like I
Yeah.
want genuine criticism at times because I want to be able to learn from it.
Yeah.
And like this shit with Friday, I was like, yo, what did you think? Like, oh yeah, that was cool. This you guys did this. It's like, no, but what'd you think? Like break it down for me. And it wasn't until today when my boys was like, this. And I'm like, cool. That's what I need to hear. And I'm like,
Yeah.
now I can learn from that. Because again, getting the nice reception, all this, it's cool. But in the fields we're in, that doesn't help us. Like with the tips
Yeah.
of the day, I was like, yo, this works. Like it's organic. Like I've told when we spoke about a few times when you're finding the way to get your system in. And I was like, yo, it works for you because you found your way in it. It's organic. It's not just you saw someone do it. It's like, let me do that. But might
Yeah.
win. It's like, no, you found your niche. This is what this works for you. Like that's the thing. It's like we're more it's easier for us to be able to learn from being told this worked, this didn't, then oh yeah, that was good.
No, yeah.
Like
But yeah, it's the best way to get someone to answer you and not get it. Oh, it was good. Is to analyze it. Like, let's say you go, yo, what'd you think of that spot out there? It was good. Yeah, it was. It was alright. Everything worked. But if you turn around, like, what'd you think of the way I took that bump? I mean, you could have, moved to your right because he hit you on the right or something. When you start being more specific with your questions, you get more specific answers. You know what I'm saying? Because I hear a lot of people like, yo, what'd you think of the match? And like, oh, the match was all right. But if you would have been like, yo, what do you think about me doing that suplex off the top rope? You got to square up more often. You got to square up more. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because you know what you did and you know what you want to improve
The
on.
worst criticism.
Oh, you freezing on me, Ray. It's fucking Steve. Fucking Steve is fucking what up. There you go. You was back and now you frozen again. Fucking Steve. But anyway, if you can hear me, blink twice. But like I was saying, you know what you did wrong, and you know what you're insecure about. So start asking about what you're insecure about. Start asking about the insecurities that you have, because then you might be on some, okay, I'm just overthinking it. He probably reset it. There you go. I don't know if you heard anything I just said.
No, last thing I heard was, oh no.
Okay.
That was-
So
we blinked.
all right. So what I was saying was start asking about your insecurities. So like what I tell people, I'm a perfectionist. So when we're watching the podcast, I tell Chris, I'm like, what you think about my picture? Because I see this. You think I need more lighting? You think about the background lighting? How do I sound? Because I feel like I sound like this. And then he listens and goes, no, this you sound natural. That's how you sound. I want to sound more bassy, but I'm not a bassy person. But he's like, the background, though, I could understand where you're coming from with the colors because of this. If you did something here or you put something to contrast you get, you know what I'm saying? So when you turn around, like, let's say you were in a match and you did a spot where you jumped over the rope. And you're like, yo, and you're like, I don't know if that's me. Like, yo, how did it look with me jumping over the rope? Did I do it sloppy? Did it look natural? Should that be something I'm doing? And then people be like, well, to me, it looked like you trained for this, so it's not a problem. Or people be like, nah, that don't look good when you do it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to sharpen that up or something. You know what I'm saying? So
No,
the more
definitely.
specific question.
Yeah, it gets
Yeah.
what you want out of it without having to
Yeah. And
go
also,
around.
like I said, I'm not in the back, but I do know about dealing with people that don't have time. So when you're dealing with veterans, or because listen, I used to work at Toyota, so I had mentors and all other shit. When you're dealing with veterans and mentors and trying to get people's advice, you have to be quick because they don't have time. They don't have time to watch your match, or they don't have time to analyze it in their head and tell you what you did wrong. But they do have time to answer a question where it's like, yo, what do you think about the spot where I did the big splash? Or how do you think, I think I undersold that suplex or some shit. What you think? Yeah, man, next time you got to do this or that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Be specific.
No, and that definitely it's especially when it comes to that, it is very important to know, hey, let me get to this because this is what I want to know. Like, how did this work out? And I was worried about two things. One was the selling, one was how did it look? Like, how was my, and they did tell me my facials were good. I sold it like I was terrified, which is perfect.
Yeah.
That's what I was going for. When it comes to, to the selling, I have to work on that, but also other elements went into that. But I also need to, in my head, I'm like, that's what we're told. Why you have to be able to, even in moments like that, you still have to be able to recover and make it work.
Yeah.
And I unfortunately did not recover and make it work.
Here's the thing though.
Yeah.
The onus is not on you. Because you were the follower in that dance.
Yeah.
You were supposed to be led. And I've seen it.
Yeah.
Like I said, it wasn't bad. You just wasn't led. You was waiting. You was on some, hello, this is your time to do something. And you're like, what you gonna do? Just get up and walk out? Like, I think Gigi helped you by going over there and stomping on you. Something was happening. You know what I'm saying?
But it gave me something because it gave me a moment to be like, I can react. And again, it's moments like that.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck.
But then, when people want to still say it's your responsibility to make it look good, then this is where you turn around and now you have the opportunity to learn improv. Because let's say you did, you got drop kicked. You went into the guardrail. This guy's supposed to do something. You're like, yo, fuck this. I'm going to take this opportunity to try to run. But I'm going to run as slow as I can so he can understand, yo, I got to get him and stop him and do what I need to do. Because just like in a podcast, you can't have any dead air. And when you're in something like that, when you have too much dead air, people start going, okay, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah. And that's what I was trying to avoid on Friday was a dead air moment. Because I'm like, what do we do now? Hey, yo. Which, again, things happen for a reason. I would have loved if what we said would have happened. You guys be there. That would have been the best banter ever.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that would have been the fucking, yo, come on, please help.
I would have had that whole side be like, get in the ring. Get in the ring.
That would have been great. But again, it happens for a reason. We live and we learn.
Yeah.
And it's one of those moments. Like I said, it's now taking this back to the lab and now learning, okay, this is what I can do. This is what I can't do. How do I fine tune that? Like,
yeah. But don't be so hard on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because people make mistakes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And there's some deadly mistakes that can be made in there. But when it comes to like little things, sometimes those mistakes work better than what you plan.
Yep.
You know? It's like you just have to have the right dance partner. Because I guarantee you, if you would have did that with someone else, like if Wolf would have did that with you instead of for Big Baby, the outcome would have been different. You probably wouldn't have been like, yo, what if I did this? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying Big Baby was bad or anything like that. I'm just saying, it was up to y'all. But, I know Wolf is more seasoned than Big Baby. So it just saying he's more used to taking control of that, of the lead. You know what I'm saying? So don't beat yourself up over that. You did it. It was fun. You have something to look back on and experience the next time you go. Have more input.
Yeah. No, definitely. Again, it's one of those where now I'm like, okay, cool. Now I definitely know what I need to work on when I finally get back to training. because that
Because
needs to
also,
happen.
because also, the more input you put in, the more you know what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Because
That,
that
I will say that this time, this go around, I definitely had more input than
yeah,
let's say that time I did the little spot with Moth.
yeah,
That this time I knew what was gonna happen, at least. Like it
yeah.
wasn't the idea of I'm just here. Like,
Nah, yeah, yeah.
oh,
I hear you.
this time at least I knew in a sense, okay,
Yeah,
this is what we're going for. This is hopefully where we get to, and let's see what happens. And my biggest thing was this. I'm just glad the crowd reacted. Because that's the best thing. That is the one thing we look
yeah.
at. Like you said, our whole point is entertain.
Mhm.
So if the crowd is into it, the crowd got a reaction. The fact that that crowd of what was, I want to say, excuse me, almost 200 people were chanting for me to get in a ring,
Yeah,
mind boggling.
nah, yeah.
Like that little moment of fucking us just like, let's see how this works. And it got a reaction. I'm like, okay, we did our job there. Like as much as I could break my head about this and this and that little moment there, I'm like, that made it worth it, you know?
Nah, yeah. Shit, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. You hold on to the negative, and you don't get to see the positive. Have fun with it.
And that could lead to another subject here, and that is especially for us, like in the creative field and all that, why is that the focus a lot of times? Why is it that we only, no matter all the good we can do and all the things we produce, why is the negative the most resonant in our head? Because that's always what ends up happening.
Because
Like a
that's what we
lot of the
look
shit
for.
is like, oh, this is cool, this is good, but like we're always ready to say but, and we're
Yeah.
always ready to fucking break this and break this down instead of enjoying the fruits of our labor. You know?
Because that's what we look for, right? We want to be perfectionists. We want to have the best. We want to do this. But the problem is, when it comes to other people, we will never know what they like. Because I put the clip of the week for the wrestling one,
Yeah.
and I recorded that one, and I'm like, I don't know, there's something's a little off. So I tried to go to another spot, and I started recording that, and I said, you know what, fuck it, I'm overthinking. Let me throw it out there. And then people, they start fucking commenting on shit, like, and I'm like, I don't know what people like. I just know it's like I'm seeing things, and then I'm like, it's just because there's certain things we have no control over,
Yeah.
and because we have no control over it, we're like, I wish this would have been better or that would have this, but instead of just seeing the bigger picture, because you paint a picture and it'll be the Mona Lisa, and people are like, yo, that's phenomenal, and you the only one that sees that one dot of canvas that you didn't cover.
Exactly. And that's it. That's the only thing where it can be
Because
a masterpiece.
Because
That
no one knows there's a mistake there except for you. Seriously. No one knows there's a mistake there except for you. And I've learned that the hard way and through research of how to do videos. Because it's better to be done than perfect.
Yeah.
That's one of the rules with making videos. Better to be done than perfect. Because you could sit there your entire life editing one video, and you're gonna look at problems after problem after problems, and reshoots after reshoots after reshoots, and the only thing you can do in situations is be as clear as possible. Because there was a couple of times that we did videos with Show, and you met Show, you know how funny Show is.
Yeah.
But when we turn on the camera, he gets very low, and he either gets forceful, or he just does the whole and I have to draw that the real Show out. Like, yo, Show, come on, bro. Like, I need
it
you
becomes
in
the
this video.
opposite.
I don't need someone else. Yeah.
Yeah, it
I don't
becomes
need
the
someone
opposite
else
of
in
who
this.
he is.
Yeah.
Like, yo, like, relax, bro. You got this. Just do what you normally do. We got this.
Yeah.
It'll work. But yeah. No, and I see that. The funny thing is, like, I'm definitely someone that's very much into like, let me edit this. Let's see how this works.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't like how this is looking. Like now, I like I told you right before we got on, I posted that little video of like, hey, here are the graphics. This is what's happening tomorrow, type shit. And I'm looking at now, and I'm like, I could have made that transition a little cleaner. I could have done this a little.
And
And
I
it's like,
guarantee you, people didn't even notice there was a transition there.
yeah,
All right, let me see this video. Damn, that's the problem with following porn stars and OnlyFans girls on every social media. The minute you open it up, you see booty.
I don't know if that's a problem to have though.
I mean, no, it's not a problem. It's just one of those, like, I'm sitting there, it's like I'm distracted now. I see booty. Nah, all right, let's go to your page. You posted it up. All right, let's. You don't have any copyright shit in there, right?
No, the song on there, it was copyright free.
Good. Because we about to show the world this shit. All 75,000 followers. You ready?
Yeah.
Oh shit, Jungle Boy's there? Was that last transition the one you were talking about?
Yep. I just noticed that now.
People didn't even realize that.
No.
And the only reason why I saw it is because I edit videos.
No.
And I noticed it wasn't like the other ones. That was just a jump cut.
Yeah. Which I was like,
Yeah.
fuck.
But
again, it's the
like I
last
said-
second too.
Yeah,
but it's like,
like I said, no one would have seen that. No one
Yeah.
sees that. You know why? Because I'm pretty sure, like, I edit videos, I do transitions. Crew's doing transitions, so we see it. Everyone, like Kenny, Gigi, the Circle for the Bait, all those people. You know what they're gonna say to you? How you did the glitch?
Yeah.
That's what they're gonna ask you. How you did those glitches? That shit was fire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That one transition doesn't make or break a video.
No,
Now,
it
if it
definitely
was-
doesn't. Yeah.
If it was Black, then Pena, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a fuck up there. You know what I'm saying? That's noticeable.
No, yeah,
That
that's
little
definitely
minute thing?
noticeable.
Yeah, that little, no one noticed.
Yeah.
No one noticed. You good on that?
Got you. No, yeah, that was the thing. But see, again, to me, that's like, fuck. It to me, it feels like, damn, like it was clean, and then we get there, and it's like, fuck.
Yeah. And yo, the biggest thing about editing videos is not looking at the analytics, because sometimes TikTok will be like, yo, you want to look at the analytics for this video? And I'm looking, I'm like, yo, I reached all these people, and it says average view time 7 seconds. I said, bullshit.
Yo, that kills
Bullshit.
me. That kills me because I'm like, wait a second. So are they just clicking and unclicking?
Yeah, because I'm like,
Like
oh,
with
wait.
YouTube, it does that sometimes, and it's like,
Yeah.
the average retention would be maybe a minute. I'm like,
Yeah,
what the fuck is
yeah.
happening?
7 seconds is halfway, is like number one. Yada, yada, yada. So if you didn't get hooked with, 5 twisted day with toe tags and then the video, number one, and you switch, it's like,
Why'd you
what?
click on the video? It's
yeah, like, wait, what? You stood all the way until number one?
you didn't want to hear the tips. You just wanted to hear
Yeah.
who said 5
You
tips?
just wanted the intro?
Like, oh, that shit is. But again, to us, it's fucking, it's mental. It's just like, what the fuck? To
Yeah.
everyone else, they're like, you're good. Like,
Yeah.
like we spoke about last week with fucking, if someone is asking you instantly, so what are your numbers? And this and that, and this and that. Normal person does not care. They're not looking
Yeah.
at you like, oh, so how many numbers you get this, this, this. Usually anyone that isn't into this, the only question they ask is, oh, do you get paid through that?
Yeah.
And then you have that conversation. Like, no, this is how it works, this and that. And then
Yeah,
it's cool.
they-
Then you have a normal conversation. Nowadays, a lot of people are very big into these things. And they're like, oh, so how are your analytics? And how is this? How many accounts do you reach? What's your follower count? All this. It's like,
Yeah, and I
um,
don't answer those questions.
But
It's
my
good,
thing is like,
it's good. People love it. There's 50,000.
my thing is this. It's like, unless I know you and like we're having this discussion because you're also a content creator, I don't want to talk to you about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Like if it's you and me, yeah, we'll have this breakdown. If it's in the chat, we'll talk about this because like,
Yeah.
yo, this is what where we're getting. This works. This doesn't work. Maybe we should work on this. See what goes. That type of thing. But if it's a girl that I'm trying to like get to know, and she's talking about this, I'm like, why are we having this conversation right now? Like this doesn't have to do with anything about what we like.
Yeah.
Why do you
no,
care?
Shit. Which that leads me to my next subject. But so me, I'm me. I'm a guy of observation,
Yeah.
and I noticed through my own years of growth, I've noticed stages. You know how you have people in their like 50s and 60s, like, yo, I'm 20 something, like, oh, you're still a baby. And people look at you like, I saw Leroy look at me when I said that to him yesterday. He's like, nigga, I ain't no baby. It's like, no, but you don't realize it until you get to the level that we're on. When you're in your 20s, starting out early 30s, you do the whole, I'm an adult now, I have responsibilities, right? When you hit like 35 and beyond, you're at the point where this shit fucking sucks. And right now, like, there's no more respect your elders. I've reached the stage where we're all the same age now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because now I have to be this person to get what I need as an adult. There's no more holding hands. There's no more nothing.
No,
I've
that's
already
what it is.
spent.
There's no one to fall back on.
Yeah.
Now it's
I-
on you. Like
but
now it's not a
yeah.
get out of
It-
jail free card. Like
Yeah.
'cause again,
It's-
I make the joke. My generation, we still have that. Like, hey, just
Yeah.
in case we
But-
have so and so to fall back. We have this. Once you're at
Yeah.
a certain point, it's on you, pa.
Yeah,
Like,
but that we have that because right now we're at this stage where we either start having kids, we start having a hard discussion on what we're gonna do with our future. Bills is real. You know, there's a lot of shit that's like our body starting to tell us shit, and now we reached I'm too old for this shit. You know what I'm saying? So when you're 20s, 30s, you still do the whole blah blah blah. You know you make up lies to not go somewhere, or you talk to certain people different, or you don't know how to say no to people and all that. When you reach that, I'm too old for this shit. Like, yo, we gonna go to the club. Nah, nigga, I'm good. I'll see y'all niggas later. Or yo, we gonna do this. I'm good. I'm alright. Or I'm broke. Or you be like, I've noticed that in me because I'm not a rude person, but I've noticed when you respond that way, it's not rude. It's assertiveness because it's one of those, if you don't think I'm a grown ass man right now, you're gonna find out.
it's a realness. It's fucking at this point. It's also coming out of again that respect. Like we say, respect your elders. This and that. It's like, well, now you're gonna respect me because I'm not a kid. I'm a
the
fucking grown ass
elder.
adult. Yeah, no, and legit, like people forget, like yo, and again, this comes with that discourse of those of my generation or the one after my generation now, the
Yeah,
younger one, because it's usually them. I'm gonna blame them because fuck them.
yeah. They
That
ain't do
forget,
shit.
yeah, fuck those kids. They're disrespectful motherfuckers.
Word.
But they forget, like, yo, this was something we're instilled in. Have that respect, have that fucking education of, hey, there are people again are doing this, have shit to fucking that they're going through.
Yeah.
Have that respect, have that cordial
Yeah.
respect. And more you see it though. We've had this conversation. We've seen how fucking that loss of fucking common sense is no longer there.
Because yo, listen, you're 25, you're 28, 30, somewhere around there, and a 50, 40, 45, 50-year-old, what's up, Joseph? 55, 45, 40,
Yo,
45, 50-year-old man says something to you, disrespectful. And you turn like, this old nigga, like, you lucky you old. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because you still got that young soul on you. A nigga around my age and older, 40, 45, 50-year-old man says something disrespectful. Who the fuck you talking to like that? Because now we ain't that far off. You know what I'm saying? Like You ain't in that. I'm not a young kid. You know what I'm saying? I am not a baby, nigga. You can come see me. you know what I'm saying? If we reach I don't want to say the final level, but we reach that level of, nah, you ain't sonning me. I'm no longer insecure about if I'm being disrespectful to an adult. I am the adult here.
Yeah. No,
Joe
that's the thing.
Panther
You have
Variety Show.
now,
What's going on, guys? Yo, appreciate you.
yo, you've gotten to that
Said,
point now.
only when the Jets lose. Word.
You've gotten to that point that it's like, yo, no, now we're there. Now it's like,
Yeah.
it's killed or be killed. Like, yo,
Yeah.
what we doing?
Yeah, because the people get this phrase wrong a lot. You have to give respect to earn it. But when you've reached that certain age, you have to earn your respect. You know what I'm saying? It's it's yeah, I'm fucking it up because in my head it's not coming where I want it. But when you're young, you have to show that respect to the elders.
Yeah.
And then they respect you. When you reach that certain point where it's like, now I need my respect because I've done so much in my life. I'm at the point where, nigga, you have no idea how much pain I'm in because yesterday I jumped and now my knee's on fire. Or, like I'm operating on 2 hours of sleep because I need to feed my motherfucking family. Or, I'm at a job where I'm trying to advance or whatever the fuck case may be, and like I'm trying to make my life better for myself. Like I've lived so long doing this, and this, and I'm trying to make life better for myself. I ain't got time for your shit. So now instead of for me giving you respect to earn, now it's like, nah, I'm earning my shit. You have to earn my respect now. It don't come easy no more. Because who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of the older people, they have those attitudes, or they have that whole, they walk down like their shit don't stink, and you're like, look at this old nigga thinking that he tough. Nah, he been through the fire. He ain't here for nobody's bullshit. He's not insecure about who he is. He's not here for nobody's bullshit. And if somebody want to fuck around, we can fuck around.
Facts.
But then you get those dumb people that think they've been through it, and they get found out. Appreciate you, Panther. Do you follow us on social media? The links are in the description below on YouTube. There, yeah. So hit us up.
Yo, Instagram has fucked up his head that he can't say the word description no more because we say that
because
can't get monetized no more.
Yeah, right. Because I don't know if it's which one we're on. Yeah, I could say the description of YouTube and you're on Twitch. It's like, fuck, I don't know what it's called on Twitch.
It's somewhere there.
Yeah.
Just wherever you're on, just keep going under and you'll see our links.
Yeah.
Follow us there. We're all on the social medias, on the Facebooks, the Twitters, the X's, the Instagrams.
The X's, the O's, all that.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
Just follow us there. And yeah, we'll see what we can make happen. But
Word.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, you're gonna figure it out because it just comes naturally.
Yeah, like I said the other day, I think my biggest when it comes to figuring shit out still, my only issue, and the funny thing was the other day, because of how fucked up we already were, I forgot the word numb.
Yes, I remember that.
And I was like, yo, why could I not remember? Like, I legit, at one point, you see me like this, like, the fuck is the word? Like, I legit had to fucking Google, like, because I could remember, and now I can't remember the word I remembered.
You use a big word to replace
used
numb.
a bigger word to replace numb, but numb, I felt like described what I wanted to say better.
Yeah.
But to the point that I was just frustrated that I was like, fuck it, I'm not saying what I was going to say anymore. Because that's been my only issue, has been I've gotten numb to so much that at times I'm like, yo, that seems cold. Like certain reactions and certain shit, I'm like, yo, I'm not doing this on purpose anymore. That's the scary part.
Yeah.
A lot of the shit I'm not doing on purpose. Now it's just I've gotten numb to it that it's like, this is just almost my reaction now.
It's a process of healing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we've been through some traumatic shit. We spoke about it on this show. It's a process of healing. The numbness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't want to say everybody goes through it because not everybody goes through it, but it's common. You know, I've done it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
that's
like,
what I wanted to get to when we were talking about the way you've gone through stuff and just the fights and all that. And I'm like, yo, and we've talked about the anger and all that. And it's like, yo, we've gotten to the point now. Sometimes it's just like when you the car situation, you've just gotten that numb to it. That it's like,
yeah,
we'll make it work. Like you're not gonna fucking blow up at that point.
yeah,
And that was what I wanted to get to because I was like, I've gotten to that point now that now I don't even want to let shit disturb my peace. They're like, I'm in my head, I'm pissed and I'm like this, but I'm like, you know what? Just let it go. We'll deal with it when we have to deal with it. But I don't want to blow up anymore. Because there was a time where I always make the joke. One thing that my dad left me was his attitude and his reaction.
yeah,
Because I get that from my dad. And man, when I blow up, I blow up. And I was like, you know what? It's not worth it. Because at the end of the day, the only person that it fucking affected was me. Because I would get this way and it would fucking make me then feel horrible because I would be anxious and it would go into my depression and all that shit. And now I'm like, you know what? I'd rather feel almost this numbness. But then there's times that I'm like, yo, I don't want to be numb to this. I want to react. Like I think I spoke to you about it wasn't a funeral. It was something that I just felt like, why am I numb to this right now? Like I can't. I'm like, and it's scary because I'm like, fuck. Like I've gotten to that point where now almost the defense mechanism is just always there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't always want it to be there, if that makes sense.
No, I hear you, but this is where Jordan Peterson talks in like every man needs to have the monster inside him.
Yeah.
You just have to tame the monster. The problem is when we go through dramatic stages like that, our monster gets fucking anesthesia.
Yeah.
And then now the trick when the anesthesia wears off and the monster starts waking up is to control it. Because you can ask Cap. I have unnecessarily broken things for the littlest shit. My mother, the last thing she bought me was that chain that I always wear. I got it because I graduated high school on time.
Gotcha.
One time I lost it.
Okay.
Dude, you'd have thought a fucking hurricane went through my room. Like it got to the point where my brother had to come in my room and go, yo, I'll look for it. And then he found it. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes when I get mad, people have to wear kid gloves around me. And it's like, I got numb to that. But then when you get numb to it and you start seeing like, damn, all I needed to do was calm down and look here. Or, calm down and just let it ride out. It'll be all right. I could have still had this object that I needed. And I don't know why I broke. Or, I didn't have to waste $200 to replace this shit that I broke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I had one time I was putting together a cabinet, a dresser. And I shit you not, I missed one screw. And instead of taking the shit apart, I tried to pry it open to get the screw in. And I said, click, and it broke. Now, it wasn't broken to the point where I can't use it no more. But I picked it up and slammed it on the floor as many times as I could until it was broken until I couldn't use it anymore.
Yeah.
And you know why? You know why?
Why?
You know why I did that? Because my pops asked me a question. And I didn't like the question. I was like, yo, this shit's broken. He goes, nah, it's still good. Like, why would you, like, blah, blah, blah. And I said, no, you don't understand. Boosh, it's fucking broken. Wait, let me show you again. Boosh, it's fucking broken. I told you it's fucking broke. And it was perfectly fucking fine until I did that. $180 down the fucking drain. Spent $180 to break a fucking cabinet. And you start saying shit like that to yourself. You start realizing, like, it's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
There's no other word for it. It's stupid.
Yeah. No, and that's what I'm saying. Like that, moments like that, I laugh at it now because I've laughed at myself seeing what I've done.
Yeah.
Or seeing what I've heard, what I've said, and I'm like, Yeah, it's a fucked up thing to say.
Yeah.
But again, we get to that point now that we're like, can't always do that. Can't be there like that. Because again, it's not good for us. Because we're doing that, we're going through that. Not good for our fucking lifestyle. Because that's the
Yeah.
shit that fucking ends up killing people.
No,
'Cause
for
that
real.
anger, as much as it's good to release shit, it's good to release emotion.
Yeah.
It's never good to bottle shit up. But there's a way to deal with that. Only issue is sometimes it's not as easy to find a nicer or a more appropriate, I guess is the
Yeah.
word, a more appropriate way to deal with that,
But
emotion and to deal
yeah.
with that situation where it's not always having to be anger. Because that's I think that's something you said last week that I was like, I kind of wanted to think about for a bit, was about us only having that emotion of anger. And I don't think it is that's the only one we have. I think it's the easiest for us to put forward. If that makes sense.
No, yeah. Because I was a lot before I was, interrupted. What I was trying to elaborate was we feel sadness,
Yeah.
but because we're not allowed to be sad, we transfer that into anger. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah.
We feel heartbreak, but because we're not allowed to be a bitch, we transfer that to anger.
Yeah.
And then we become very cathartic where we take it out on a punching bag, on the gym, on this and that. And most of the emotion that we have that feeds us through that is anger, and that feeds our testosterone and shit like that. We go through a lot of emotions. We can't express those emotions because we've never been shown how to, because we transfer it into anger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Also, I think it's even when we know how to,
Yeah.
we then are afraid to. Fear becomes a thing because then
Yeah.
when we show it, we're afraid of how people are going to react or
Yeah.
how people are going to then treat us for
Yeah.
reacting a certain way. And I think unfortunately, this is where that comes into play here is certain instances have fucked up us wanting to react a certain way
Yeah.
because you react like that in front of certain people and then those use it against you. And then it's like, oh, cool. So now I know I can never do this because I don't want to feel vulnerable again.
Yeah.
Because now that I'm vulnerable with you, you treat me like this, or like Toe said,
Yeah.
like a bitch, or just in any way. They manipulate the system. And it's like, it's horrible because that is what a lot of people go through.
Yeah.
Like I was watching the Monique interview because that's been the big thing now with Clem Shay Shay and all that. Yo, Shannon Sharp is getting good fucking interviews. And this is another one where it's like, yo, we just need one. We just need a Cat Williams or a Monique type guest. That's all we need.
No, bro, we not for nothing. I feel like all the guests we had, we got them to open up personally in one way or another. But like Janai Kai would have been that one that tore down the curtain so much. But like I said, bro, we just need that audience because
Because the shit she was saying, it's like this
Yeah.
was that type of reaction. And then we've had
Yeah.
people like that. Like Darius was another one.
yeah,
But if we had the people that see it, that it's like, oh, he's saying some things that
yeah,
people don't say a lot because they're afraid to. But
Yeah.
where I was getting with it,
yeah.
was because she said something there. It was I think Shannon asked her something Shaq said, apparently, about not being able to want to confide in your partner like that. Because they'll use it against you. And I'm like, that's scary. Because every conversation we had about partners and this and that idea of trust has always been big between us, right? That we've always
Yeah.
talked about. So imagine not having the trust to be able to be vulnerable with that person. That's scary. Because this is the person you want to spend the rest of your life with.
If I can't trust you to be vulnerable, I can't be with you.
That's my thinking. I'm like,
We're talking about dealing with emotions, Brazy. But yo, so that is something that I want to touch upon because when I found out Carl Weathers died,
yeah.
I'm on one of the floors doing my rounds, and I'm in a group discussion, and I was like, "Damn, son, Carl Weathers dies." And my boys, who? I said, Creed from Apollo Creed from Rocky, and I showed them the pictures. Like, damn, and I'm sitting there quiet, and I shit you not, a tear rolled down my eye. Only certain people get that. Kobe got that. Eddie got that. Apparently Carl Weathers got that. But I'm saying, and there's women there. And not one person said anything to me. I don't even think they noticed. But I was feeling it. And I was quiet. And then I realized the emotion or showing your emotions isn't as powerful or isn't as weakening as people think, because it all depends on how you show it.
Yep.
Now, and I've said this before, you can be heartbroken, and the way that we show our heartbreak is silence. People feel that tension from us, like, yo, you good? And he's like, nah, I'm good. But we know you're not good. And that's an emotion there. That's showing an emotion. You think we're hiding it. We're masking our emotions of sadness, but sadness shuts us down. And no one judges you for that. Now, if you're in a heartbreak and you're sitting there crying your eyes out, weeping, boogers coming out, you have no control of your emotions. That's why people start taking advantage of you. That's why people start treating you like a different way. Not because you've shown your emotions, because you have no control over it.
No. And I think that's where the misunderstanding with that comes in, though. Because I think that's what they're confusing is the way you're showing it to just the idea of showing it
Yeah.
in general. Because that's my thing. It's like, yo, if you can't do that with that person out of all people, there's an issue. There's a big issue there. And
You
like,
have to keep it into people. Yo, all right, I'm gonna pull you back through the curtain of my emotional journey with my mother passing. Now, everybody knows most of the stories, but there was a time, it was almost immediately after my mother passed, where I was looking for a female to fill that role. I was yearning for a female to fill that role of someone caring for me, because I grew up thinking no one gave a shit about me. And I'm going to be 100% real with you. And the only people that actually made me feel that way, that they gave a shit, was my family. And my mother was the biggest, influence in that. So she's gone. I don't want to burden my pops and my brother because they're going through the same shit. So like my uncle, he was a second father to me, but he's showing me that, you know what I'm saying? So I started anybody and everybody I could, every woman I could talk to. And, it was one of those things where I'm showing my emotions to people. I'm, being vulnerable. And some of them wanted to be there and didn't know how. And others were, I don't give a shit. This is what I need. And since you're doing it because you're unstable, I'm just going to ride this out. And I've been in situations where I'm supporting a fucking family. You know what I'm saying? I'm supporting a chick with 4 kids, and I'm like, where this shit come from? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm now a taxi driver for someone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in a situation where I thought I was going on a date, and I'm just like, no, I'm the chauffeur. You know what I'm saying? And this wasn't because I showed them my emotions. This was because I was so desperate to find somebody to fill a gap that I decided that I wasn't important enough to not, to be like, nah, I'm not dealing with this shit. You know what I'm saying? None of them ever said anything about the way I handle my emotions. None of them ever treated me like if I was a bitch. They took advantage of my kindness and my willingness to, I'll do this if you give me attention or if you show me that you care. I used to say I only wanted 1%. And like we said last week, I don't ask for much. I only wanted you to feel like, at least 1% of you gave a shit about me.
No.
And when Lay was like, yo, but you're worth more than that. And I was like, I never felt that way. That was the facts.
No, and that can be a thing though. You can get to that point of you want the bare minimum, and even at that, you're willing to take even less. And that is a whole other kind of vulnerability, though. Again, when we talk about emotions and we talk about all this, there's other ways of being vulnerable that can be taken advantage of, unfortunately. And the thing is, at times, because I also want to clarify that,
Yeah.
it's not that they're doing it maliciously. It's almost like, well, if you're going to be this way, then I'm going to take advantage of it, you know?
Yeah.
Like at times, and again, it goes both ways. Sometimes we allow it, sometimes it's happenstance. Just so people understand that too, because it's not one of those like every woman wants to take advantage of it. Like, oh, fuck it, he's gonna be this way. I'm gonna take advantage. No, it's like,
But
so
if
are
you
you?
make it easy for them, they're gonna enjoy the ride, and that's vice versa.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying though. It doesn't also
No,
it
yeah,
doesn't always, however, come maliciously.
yeah.
It's coming from, well, if this is how it's gonna be, then I guess let it be like that. You know?
Yeah, it's like if a chick instantly started cooking for you, cleaning for you, you over her house, you're fucking all this other shit,
Yeah, you're
and you're
not
like,
gonna
yo,
say
we
no.
just started talking for 2 weeks, and now all of a sudden she's taking care of like, hey, we're not official, but she wants to do, I'll let her do it. This
Yeah,
feels good.
yeah.
You know what
No,
I'm
that's
saying?
you get comfortable. It's
Yeah,
comfortability. It's easy to fucking want to be comfortable instead of this feels a little odd, but fuck it, you know?
yeah, yeah.
And it's that though. But back to again to that point of it, the emotions and all that.
We're gonna get to Leon and Brazy after this guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have to find that if you that trust needs to be there, and that's a big part of it, especially with that. Like again, you can have your boys, you can have your girls, depending on again who you are. You can have both. You can have confidants in a sense.
yeah,
But if that person who you decide that this is who you want to spend the rest of your life with, you don't have that trust in, you're already starting off wrong. Because
yeah,
this again, having that vulnerability, being able to be at your true core, like this is how you feel, this is how you think, this is just what you're going through.
yeah,
Especially if you're someone similar to how me and Toe were talking about our emotion styles and all that. If you can't be able to have someone that understands that, then it's not worth it.
yeah,
Because I've unfortunately been in that situation where I dated someone who unfortunately their mentality and their way were also very similar. And that led to us understanding that this is never gonna work. Because unfortunately, we're both very stern on the ways we are.
yeah,
It's just not gonna click. Like we completely understand each other. It was just never gonna work. And that was something I also wanted to say last week, but again, kind of got lost in the shuffle of
yeah,
it.
yeah,
That
yeah,
it's like sometimes that is the hardest part of it as well, is knowing that fuck, everything can click, everything can be there. You can love that person.
and then not for
It's
you.
still not, yeah.
Yeah,
And that's when it's hard. Because the other stuff, when I was like, yeah, that's hard, but it can be you can move on. When it's someone that you're like, fuck, there's nothing wrong. But we both know it's not gonna work. That's when that shit is hard. Cause you're like, fuck, everything is
yeah,
there. But
yeah.
yeah.
Shit, man. But so I'm gonna talk about Leon's point first. He goes, to be honest, I don't believe I should open up to a woman. Do you know why people, people always say you have to respect your mother no matter what? Because she's the only woman that will ever love you unconditionally. And that's saying powerful shit.
Yeah.
That's why a mom is different than a dad. Not saying that dad don't love you unconditionally, but a mom would love you unconditionally no matter what. Fucking, you can sit there and be Jeffrey Dahmer,
Yep.
and the mom was to be like, "That's my baby. He's a monster, but that's my baby."
Yeah. Because that's the
Now,
condition. It's always
yeah, now, granted, women don't understand men's trauma or how we deal with shit, so it gets uncomfortable. Especially if she's your friend that doesn't know you. You try to open up, she's like, "I don't know how to." And I've seen that before. It's like, I don't know what to tell you. I know that you're going through some shit, and I'm sorry for your loss or whatever.
But that
Your
could also go
boys,
vice versa as well.
yeah,
Sometimes you just
yeah,
don't know, um, or you don't know
but
what to say. You know.
yeah, but your boys will be on some, yo, nigga, I'm here for you. You know, whatever that means to you, I'm here for you, right? Because they're willing to take that responsibility. As men, we're willing to be the helper and all that other shit. But when it comes to women, you can open up to them if they know who you are. I have a friend that I've spoken to her a lot during that time, and she's heard all the stories. She's been there, and she never judged me. She understands. Like, if I hit her up right now and be like, "Yo, my cat's going through this shit again. I'm like fucked up from it," and blah blah blah. She'll be there to listen. And not all women, but she knows me. So she knows that, like, yo, this is the type of nigga that, like, he is. Like, I know that this dude really gives a shit about the things he gives a shit about. And I know it's probably hard for this nigga. So it's like, yo, blah, 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 this is gonna be okay, this and the third. This, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you know your friends and you know they're not acting right, it's like, yo, bro, you good? Nah, this is like, damn, son, that sucks. I may not know what to tell you, but I know that this ain't you. And we gotta help you get back to who you are.
Yeah.
When they say you can't open up to your woman, it's because you don't know your woman. Your woman don't know you.
No.
Because this is where, like I keep saying, a person that I choose to have, like, to be married and start a family, you better be able to fucking hear my problems.
Yeah. My thing is this. I do you think, does it actually have to do with their sex thing? Or does it have to do with, again, not knowing how to just open up in general at times
For a man?
for a man? Yeah. Or just vice versa. Because I feel like this is a thing both ways at times.
Because you know what it is? It's this statement here. I don't believe I should open. We don't think opening up is okay. We think there's a stipulation to us opening up.
Yeah.
He just said, I don't believe I should open up to a woman.
Yeah.
So now there goes your drawback. I have some shit to say. I have something I want to get off my chest. Well, there's a woman here. I can't do it. Then what's next? I can't do it to a stranger. I can't do it to my father because he thinks I'm a bitch. I can't do it with my friends because they're gonna think I'm a bitch.
No, and that's
Then
why I
who
say,
you open
like,
up to?
that's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
Is it necessarily the woman that's the issue? Or is it just not knowing how to open up? Because that's where I feel like
I think
this statement resonated
I
from,
think
but we're gonna blame that.
yeah, it's the unwritten rules of it.
Yeah. I
Because
feel like that's where it started with that.
Because like I said last week, when you start having these difficult conversations, you start realizing that you're the strongest one in the room. When you start doing difficult shit and you start opening up, and because it's very difficult for people to open up, but you start doing that shit on a regular basis and you have those conversations, you become strong. You don't become weak. You become strong. You become, it's okay, confident enough to say, like, yo, listen, this is the thing. Somebody can learn from it. This is, I think it's doing that because you're going out of the focal range.
Might be, which I don't. I don't know.
Like, you don't know what it is. But I notice every time I think when you do this,
Yeah.
when you lean back a little bit or you move to, I don't know, it goes out of focus. But, you know what I'm saying?
It's killing me because every time
yeah.
I see that, I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
But,
and so that's I think most, like, a big part of it is the rules of we're not supposed to do it to them. We're not supposed to do it to them. Yo, I love Shaq, but I can't allow Shaq to show me how to deal with my emotions.
no.
Shaq don't know me.
And that, okay, so that's perfect that you just said that. Because is that also a reason why this has become a thing? Is it a personal basis, or is it because this is what people say, this is now how all of us are supposed to feel?
Yeah, it's because what people say.
Because to me, again, like I said, to me, opening up in general has always been an issue. Because unfortunately, like I said, that numbness started because that's how I was taught.
Yeah,
Or not. The funny thing is, I was never taught this. It's just what I saw.
you observed. Yeah,
Yeah, I saw this because my dad was like that. My dad was very, he got to that point of having to be that way because he was the head of the household. But the thing was, what I also saw was when there was a point where my dad finally broke down, and he had no issue doing it in front of my mom, in front of my grandmother, no matter who it was, if it's a woman, if it's a man, whoever it was.
Yeah.
But the problem was for me, that part never became as clear of when it's okay to do that. And again, there's times now where I'm finally a little more willing to open up, but there's times where again that numbness just takes over.
Yeah.
And to me, when I see this, I'm like, I don't have an issue because I've done it. I've had female friends, I've had partners where I'm like, I'm willing to open up to, and I have my friends, my boys, my this and that. That's like, yo, if we get to that conversation, we'll get to it. And it's just being able to again finding yourself and being willing to, what do I want to talk about? What is it that I feel like I need to share? You know, because that's also the thing, is having that in yourself to be like, I can be honest about myself. Because it starts with you. It starts with the person. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter who it is. Again, always have that wall, especially because you don't want to get hurt. But putting the basis of, if it's if it's because it's this sex or that sex or this, it's like you're already starting off wrong. Because you're starting off with labels that again people have put,
Yeah.
but that's not you. That's not your case. That's not case. It should be case by case. It should be again on you. Again, if you've unfortunately gone through a moment like that, then my apologies. What we're saying
Yeah.
right now, it might not work for you because for you, you've gone through a bad experience. Because there's a lot of people that unfortunately have. They have
Yeah.
experiences. Oh,
But
they tried to do this with their partner didn't accept
yeah.
it.
But not everybody's the same.
Exactly my point.
I remember I was speaking to my uncle about shit like this, and I said something to him, and he goes, "Listen, that's this person. Don't develop a wall that prevents you from being who you are because of this person, and now the next person that might be the right person for you never gets to see that part of you
No.
because she might not be that. You know what I'm saying? Like she might be the one that sees that part of you and likes it or can accept it and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So don't let the experiences with other people dictate your experience with new people because you never know.
No, and it's so true. It's so fucking true that it's something like that. Again, it seems so simple. It seems so like, oh, let's just talk. But it's a difficult conversation. It's
Yeah,
difficult to want to be vulnerable. It's difficult to want to put that guard down. It's difficult to just say how you're feeling. Because it is a difficult thing. It's a difficult thing to admit when you're not okay. It's
yeah,
difficult to admit you're going through it. Even if it's the simplest shit. It could be over the simplest stuff, but sometimes that's all it takes.
yeah,
It takes for
and-
that last fucking,
yeah, and
yo, work is stressing me out or this
yeah,
or that. But again, no, it's okay to let that
yeah,
go. Let it out.
yeah. And also, one of the things about I don't believe I should open up to a woman. Before you open up to anybody, you have to open up to yourself.
That's what I was trying to get to. It has
Yeah.
to start with you. That was where I was going, but I couldn't fucking phrase it.
No,
this
yeah,
is why
because
that's why I
yeah,
love the discourse because we're able
no,
to
yeah,
we're able to lay up it into someone else. But
because
it should be with you. It
yeah,
should be you.
because I remember when I started making the turn, and I was like, yo, I don't like the life I'm having right now. I don't like the situations I'm in. I don't like this. I don't want to say I need help, but it's one of those like, all right, I need to get this shit. I need to make shit clear.
Yeah.
And like I spoke to my brother and my father, but the other people I spoke to was Krills and my other coworker, and I put them I put them in the office and I told them, I said, this is what's going on. This is this and this is that, and that's something like we see it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I was like, nigga, we see it in your face. You're going through some shit, but we don't know how to ask you if you're all right because you just sit there and you act like you're normal, but we see that you're going through some shit. We can tell the days that are harder for you than other days. It's like we were waiting for you to come tell us. You know what I'm saying? And then we had that moment and we got closer and it was one of those like, okay, now I know it's like these niggas are people I could be safe around or like they genuinely give a shit about how I'm feeling. Like they know that what I'm going through is tough, and they're waiting to help me through this. You know what I'm saying? It's just sometimes you have to know how to express and how to ask either for help or how to just be like, yo, listen, this is what I'm going through, and this is what I'm dealing with. And my bad if I'm not the same person I was before this happened. You know?
And that right there, that last bit, being able to apologize for that, because again, sometimes this comes with that. You have to almost have that apology there. Like,
Yeah.
hey, this is my this. I think that's why we're also worried about that, because we believe we're a burden to it by doing that. By being wanting to open up, we think, oh, we're burdening someone with this information.
Yeah.
Like, I have to be vulnerable. My apologies that I'm doing this to you. And that is an experience I had, which I usually don't like to talk about it, but hey, we'll share it here. Um, that I was at that point of when I was dealing with a very bad fucking spell of my depression and all that, to a point where I didn't want to go out a lot. Like, I was at a point where I was like, no, I'd rather stay home. Like, it
Yeah.
would be to the day of, like, we would have something, like, I was fucking all week looking forward to it. And day of, it would just hit me like, you know what? I can't do it. Hey, I would hit him up like, hey, I can't come. Sorry, blah, blah, blah. And it would be like, oh, but why? Like, we're doing this. And till finally I said something. I would say, hey, I'm going through this. I'd rather not be a burden, because I'm not going to be myself. I know how I get when I'm in those moments.
What up, Chungus?
Yo, what's going on, Chungus? And when I said that, and unfortunately, because it happened a few times, and they're like, oh, but someone told me, oh, but you should still be able to do this and that. It's like, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Fortunately, how I was dealing with it at the time, I felt like I needed to be alone, because that, to me, I would get through it better, because I didn't want to put a burden on someone of you having to deal with me at this point or deal with me this way, etc. To a point, the conversation got to, oh, but you changed because of how you're reacting. And I'm like, how? This is me dealing with, unfortunately, with what I'm going through. I explained what I'm going through, and this is how you tell me huh? Like, the whole situation was just very weird to me, you know?
Yeah. No,
Like,
yeah.
and this is, in that situation, again, I could have taken that and be like, you know what? Sometimes it's better to fake it. But to me, it's like, no, when people genuinely care, they'll understand. Unfortunately, at
Yeah.
times, you're gonna go through shit. And you'll have situations where friends will notice that. Because that was the thing that I always noticed. That person never noticed when I'm going through it.
Yeah.
But I've said, this is how I get, this is this. And they just never, I guess, never cared to notice it. Because it would happen and it's just like, oh, but let's hang out. It's like, you could see I'm going through this. I'm quiet. Like, you've gotten to know me now, you know I'm not quiet. Unless I'm
Nah.
trying to be PC.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Word.
it's a different kind of quiet. Like,
Yeah.
when I'm at that point that I'm just not talkative, unfortunately, at times, it's because I'm going through something. But for them not to notice that, which I had known for a while, it was like, okay, cool. Now I know. And it took me a while. That's why, like I told you when I first started to know you guys, that it's like, it took me a while to get that vulnerability stage and want to be just cool.
Yeah.
Because you start to get that. You're like, I gotta have my wall up at all times. And it's the most euphoria feeling when you're finally like, I can put that wall down, because there's that trust, you know.
Shit, but yeah, man, that's the growth. But you know, there's sadly there are friends that are blind to it because they're more concerned about their thing than anything else. And it's not that they're bad friends; it's just for the time they're not the best. You know,
Yeah,
and when they go, oh, but you can still go out. You're just masking it.
yeah,
Faking it till you making. Faking it don't work. Because now you're gonna be somewhere you don't want to be,
yeah.
not
No,
having fun at all.
and I did that for a while. Like, there was times where I would do it just like, fuck it, let me do that, and it doesn't feel good. Because that's when, and I don't know if we talked about that, and I'll save that history of it for another episode. But like, it was to a point where I would do that and fake it, but I would just fucking try to black out.
Yeah.
Like I would drink to a point of like, I want to black out. So I'm like, that's not cool. Like I'm not me. So why do this?
Nah, I hear you, man. And that's when you start, like I said, when you get to my age, when more shit is starting to be like, that's when you get the, yo, fuck this.
Yeah.
No. But why not? Because I said no. That's the answer's no. The reason's no. And what you're going to get is no. You know?
That's where I need to get. That's where I need to get to that point of just
and
no.
Yo, and it comes with saying yes so many times or having to make bullshit excuses where it's like, yo, fuck this. If you can't accept my answer, I'm not giving you no more answers. Deal with it. I was in a situation, somebody was asking me a question, and I gave them the answer. They didn't like the answer. So they kept asking me the question in different ways. So I said, listen. And that was my answer. I stopped responding. I told you. This, and this. We don't have nothing else to discuss. Everything's handled. It's good. Yep. I don't need no more input. I don't need help. If I needed help, I would have asked you.
Yep.
It's because I didn't ask you, it's handled. We got you. Everything's fine. You know what I'm saying? And when you know, like I said, when you're younger and you haven't reached that shit, you start doing it. But all right, yeah, but no, this, and this, and you start making excuses, or you give them a little bit of that, or this and that. It's like, she's not gonna stop, or they're not gonna stop until you do this, and it's like, no, you keep going. I'm done. You walk away and let them talk to themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, it's not rude. It's assertiveness. It's right now, you have no problem bothering me. You have no problem asserting dominance on me. And I have no problem walking away. So the same way I'm annoyed by you and I feel like what you're doing is wrong, you can feel like what I'm doing is wrong. And we're just going to be two bitches in the sea because I'm going over there now. You know what I'm saying? No.
And it's having that, again, having that maturity of like, you know what? Cool. I'm gonna see myself out.
Yeah.
And just having that, just knowing, you know what? Cool. And that's to me, that was the biggest thing of something like that. I was like, you know what? I tried explaining it, didn't work out. Cool. See it. Because again, why am I gonna stress myself out more? Why am I gonna go through this more?
Yeah.
If it's like I tried to explain it. You said you understood it. You didn't understand it. It's not worth it.
Yep.
Like, it is what it is.
Seriously. All right, let's get to Brazy's over here. He goes, yeah, controlling the emotions are hard, and I know I can't say much about this, but I see that men have a much harder time expressing their emotions. Like, it's hard to control, but yet you'll be mad fun of you, but you'll make fun of them. Like, I don't understand why men get shit for being told they can't cry. You know, because this that old school mentality. Men are not supposed to cry because we're supposed to be the leaders, and if you show weakness, people ain't gonna follow you. The problem is that only works when your army is weak. When you build a team, and if the leader shows vulnerability, the team needs to come together and make that strength for it. This is why what I'm saying for me growing up, like I said, Shaq can't tell me how to live. He can only tell me what he does. If he doesn't want to open up to a woman, that's one of his rules. Perfect. I get it. Yo, it works for you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know your reason, but if it works for you, it works for you. But me, emotionally, I want somebody I can depend on for those moments of weakness or those moments of vulnerability, for them to reassure me like, yo, it's okay. Now, when you have people that are gonna, you show that moment and now they look at you like you're weak, it's because they're not strong enough to hold the fort down. And they don't want to be there. because priorities.
No,
If
yeah,
you because
it's
a relationship is that. A relationship is emotional. Relationship is vulnerability. It's everything outside of having a house, a car, and all that other bullshit. Because I don't care what anybody says. Prostitutes will live in your house if you give them enough money.
yeah,
A woman would do that shit for free. No knocks on no knock on prostitutes. What I'm saying is you're buying someone, you're paying for someone to live with you. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. But when you're in a relationship, the money doesn't matter. The material shit doesn't matter. It should be it should be the emotional connection that you have with each other and that partnership because you're becoming a partner.
yep.
Not comfortability, not anything else. This is what Hulk was trying to say last week.
Yeah, it got
You know?
lost a little bit
Yeah.
in translation, but no, and that's
Yeah.
what it should be. Again, this is um, it's so much to it. There's so much more than just what layman's terms,
Yeah.
and we kind of forget how much more deeper than it could get. But again, we as society or as the media likes to put out, we kind of forget those other sides of it. We forget why it's okay and why this is supposed to be part of it. Especially when it comes to relationships, when it comes to all this, when it comes to and I also again that word relationships want to remind people that goes with any relationship. And that goes with again when I say that because friendships fall in that line too of having that
Yeah.
trust, having that. Because again, anyone that you have around you, having your circle, if a lot of these things aren't there, maybe you should reevaluate.
Yeah.
Because that's where a lot of this stress comes from too. Because you start to think, oh, I can't trust this person, so maybe I can't trust this person, or I can't trust. It's like when that is gone, it ruins your mentality on everybody.
Yeah.
Because you start to believe like, oh, I had this person close to me, they feel this way. Maybe everyone's like that. It's like, no. Sometimes there might be that one hole in the ship. Patch that. The ship still moves.
Yeah.
Like sometimes that's what it is. That's how it could go. But
Word.
having maturity and respect for your surroundings can be tough when you want to lose it and zap. It it is, but again, what is causing that moment of like wanting to, like you have to again, like we said, both of us are very much like that. That a lot of things cause us to want to be there and have that, but you have to again see is it worth it? What the reaction to? What is this going to? What is making me lose that peace? Is it worth getting to that point?
Yeah.
Again,
But
that
yeah,
comes with that. That comes with that maturity of seeing is this worth it anymore because now I have X, Y, and Z. Like
word. And
there's
yeah,
reasons now to not want to do that.
yeah, and if the truth is gonna hurt somebody, then hurt them because it's killing you.
Yeah. No, and that's
Because think about it, the wound, the truth is gonna hurt somebody for the moment. You holding it in is gonna hurt you for a lifetime.
no. And I was gonna say that I feel like is one of the hardest things to realize is that sometimes because the saying is the truth hurts, right? But realizing sometimes you almost have to do it.
Yeah,
Like you have to be the one that's like, well, gotta rip the band-aid sometime and just do it.
yeah. Like if I was like, yo, Ray, truthfully, you should have brought me that fucking pork chop. I'm mad at you. You didn't even bring me a pork chop. You see how deeply Ray's hurt? But I hold that down for a week.
He was really missing that pork chop, man.
Yo,
With all that,
it's been a while.
with all that steaks and that band-aid,
I had
all he
room
was
for one
thinking
pork
about
chop.
was that
No.
portion.
Mm-hmm.
He was eating that steak, but in reality, he wanted that pork chop.
Yeah. Word.
But no, it's that though. It's having that moment of just like, as much as this might hurt, you need to also have that clarity for yourself. And again,
Yeah.
we're not saying to do this as well maliciously, but again, if it's
Sometimes
disturbing, If it's disturbing your peace, then you gotta do it.
It comes with life. This is why, like, yo, how many times have you done something and you're hiding it from your mom, and your mom's like, yo, what did you do? Or what's going on here? And you like, I can't tell you. And she's like, yo, tell me, it's okay. I broke your vase. I love that vase, but it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you're like, oh shit, it didn't hurt her as much as I thought.
Yeah.
Or
No,
you know
and
what
a
I'm
lot of
saying?
times
Like,
it can be like that. And again, it could be something even more bigger than that. But it could have that similar reaction. Because again, having that honesty, having that truth, sometimes all that's needed again is that conversation and just having that understanding.
yeah,
And what I was referencing to was saying that you can have a prostitute in your house with the right money. And how Ray said having the wrong people in your corner can be it really can be disastrous because it's one of those where again you could think your foundation is solid, but there could be that one just piece that's fucking you're wondering why isn't this working? Like everything is good. But they and I hate to use the phrase, but they always say you're the biggest hater is usually someone you already know.
yeah.
And it's that person that
Yeah.
again, not everyone wants to clap for your turn. Some people are like, "Oh yeah, I want you to succeed, but not more than I am." And it sucks because it happens everywhere. We all know that person that it's like, "Yo, yeah, I want my bro to do big. I want this and that, but now if they're doing better than me."
Yeah.
And it sucks because we see it. And it's like it's something when you see that, when you start to actually notice it, they're like, you know what? Hey man, I don't want to be the reason you feel this type of way. I don't want to be the reason that you feel like we're in a competition. So if this house has
So,
to end, then
yeah.
so be it.
Sometimes competition could be healthy.
No. But
You know,
I'm
no,
using
yeah,
that
no,
as
no, yeah, but
as
malicious,
an
yeah,
example. I'm using that as an
because
example of almost like that could be a scenario. But
yeah,
it's just I'm using that as like
no, I
it's like-
get you.
yeah.
But you know, when people start holding you back from your potential because they don't want to see you shine because they don't have the balls or the means to grow,
Yeah.
that's that's crazy. But it's the crazy shit is like some people we have to bear in mind like not everybody thinks like us, right?
Yeah.
So you have some people that literally just like I just want someone a companion. When and a companion could be like, yo, she's there, we fuck, we have fun, she goes and leaves. So that could be why Shaq's like you don't open up to your woman because that's the type of relationship he has. They don't have a relationship where he doesn't want a relationship with them where he opens up and trusts with them and all. He has we do what we do and that's what it is. And you know, because my version of love is you live in my house, we have fun, we go on vacation, we do this, and that's it. You're supposed to be my peace, and then I'll worry about it my other shit on my side because I'm supposed to take care of you. Which is fine. You have people that just want trophy wives. They don't even want to hear the problem with it. Just, here goes the car, shut the fuck up and go. You know. But then you have other people that don't have those means. Like I don't have those means, and even if I did, I don't want to be judged by those means. I don't want to be like if I'm a rich person, I don't want someone to want me because I'm rich, and I don't want somebody because oh she's hot, but nigga she's a piece of shit. It don't matter. She's hot. You know what I'm saying? Like don't
No.
get me wrong, I'll fuck them, but when it comes to the actual relationship and shit like that, I gotta
It
put.
needs to be
I
more
always
than
gotta say that for the
superficial.
record. It's for the record. When I go up there and they read me back everything I write, they know that I'm fucking. But but
It needs to be
but you
more
know
than superficial in a sense.
yeah
There needs
yeah
to have that substance, and this is what we're getting at. Again, if you
because
can't have that substance, and especially in a situation like that where it needs to be that deep connection, it needs to be something where it's not just a. Again, sometimes it could be, but it shouldn't just be fuck. You know?
because I'm a passionate man.
Yeah.
And if you know, and if this isn't passionate for you, and this is just um monetary things, you know, it's eventually I'm gonna be turned off by it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, oh, what? Because what the fuck you want now? You want a bag? I gotta buy you shit for you to seem like you're interested in me. That's not how I roll. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I've always been with people. And like you've seen, I'm like I tell people I'm like a grandmother. You know what I'm saying? Like I want everybody to be taken care of. Like when we cook the steaks, I want everybody to eat as much as you can. You know, enjoy this shit.
Yo,
You know what
again,
I'm
those
saying?
are
So
bomb steaks. I'm still thinking
yeah,
about those steaks.
nah, yeah, I'm waiting for another run of those. But you know what I'm saying? So it's like that's how I am. But there's some people that don't do that. They just want like, yo, you here and all that other shit, but I want to do my own thing.
Yeah.
You know, and that's fine. But that's something you need to communicate. You have to open that up too. But it communication is the best form of relief for everything.
And you know what's crazy is because communication, again, the phrase is communication is key. And I feel like the more and more we dive into just what society puts out and just society in general, as much as we speak, we're afraid to be heard, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it's the scenario of we want to say stuff. We just don't want certain people to hear it. And it's weird because usually the people we're most afraid are the ones that need to hear it. Like you and me could have this conversation, but it's like, oh man, but I don't want like this ex to hear it. I don't want this person. And it's like, why?
Yeah.
Like it should be something where again, if you're able to say this, be able to say it to anyone. Feel free to be able to again have this conversation because again, it is the most relieving thing is just having a conversation. Being able to come into a common understanding because again, it's just talking. It's nothing out of the ordinary. You're not it's not rocket science. It's just conversating.
Yeah.
And sometimes things could be solved so much easier by just having a conversation. But we treat it like we're mining for gold. Like
Yeah.
instead of, and again, we are, the funny thing is you are at times. By having that conversation, you're finding the most like minuscule thing could be the most important. But it's being able to have that conversation to get there, to be able to get to that. And Chungus, I'm reading the comments and I'm trying to like get to that it's like that's something you guys have to find that common ground then where you guys need to have that conversation. You need to be able to, especially again, this is not any ordinary woman in your life either, because this is the mother of your child. Whereas like again, no matter what, you guys might not like each other anymore. That love might be lost, but unfortunately, there's always gonna have to be some sort of respect there because you guys have to have a bond because of your child. So that's something that needs to be talked about because again, you don't have to like each other. You don't have to, again, if you guys are together, then that's a different story. But if the scenario is not wanting that, there still has to be a respect there. Just to be able to, again, because now it's not just about you. It's not just about her. It's about the little one. So that conversation is one that needs to be had because that's who it affects. No matter what, affects the little one. And that's someone who they have no say in the fight right now. They can't talk. They can't say how they feel because unfortunately, even when they are ready to talk, it's still not their place. It's A and B conversation. So
yeah. And that's why we tell people you can't always listen to everybody.
Exactly. And you know what's funny? I love how we say that a lot. But then we say some things that it's like, listen to this though, at least for a second. Listen
Well,
to
because the
Like-
thing is, everyone's life is different.
No.
So what Shaq says, or what Fresher Fit says, or what Alvin and Preach say, or what this shit say, they live by. You know, those are their morals, those are their codes, those are their standards.
Do they though?
Well, I'm just for the sake of argument.
No. I know.
Yeah,
I know.
no, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just saying, like, Because
Yeah.
that's the funny thing. And this is why we say don't take everything that is said on these media shows as gospel. Because a
Yeah.
lot of the times, the things people say on these aren't even what they believe.
No.
They say it because they know it's going to get clicks.
Yeah.
This is one thing for anyone that watches us and ever has to question, wait, do these motherfuckers actually believe what we say? And the answer is yes. Again, certain things we're joking, certain things you know the difference.
Yeah.
But 99% of the time, stuff we say here, especially on this show, on the Tone the Show Array, we're saying these things because it is what we believe, because we have no reason to lie. We're not saying this for clicks and views and all that,
Yeah.
because unfortunately, right now, we're not at that point where, oh, if we say this controversial thing, we'll get the clicks. Because we're not at that point with the channel. One day we might be, but even then, we wouldn't change our opinions or our stances on this. Because that's not who we are as people. Because that's the thing. You have to look at, when you look at these channels, especially those bigger ones like that, they're doing this now because now it's an algorithm to them. Now it's not a conversation anymore. Now
Yeah.
it isn't two friends having a conversation and trying to give people helpful advice. Now it's giving people good advice. Now it's giving the algorithm what it needs to now
Yeah.
get us clicks and views.
Seriously.
So for us, whenever we say stuff, it's coming out of, we want to help and get people to have that peaceful mindset, or again, be able to help them with a moment in their day. Because again, stuff like this it took us a while to understand, and we're
Yeah.
still understanding. This is also the thing for people to understand is we don't know everything. We still don't know everything, and we're still going through things.
I do.
Like I said, that 1% of shit that Cole doesn't even believe. But it's stuff that even to this day we're still getting through shit,
Yeah.
and we're still going to. Tomorrow, it's a whole new day, whole new challenges. Like I said, it's always going to be that way. But this is
Yeah.
what we try to bring to the table, so that way you know and you learn a little bit, and you're able to get through the shit you have to get through. So if we can help out, it's the best thing we can do.
Yeah.
If not, as always, just remember you can go fuck yourself.
Word. And yo, so Chungus over here, he goes, I want to make it work, but not at the expense of my own peace and sanity. The sad part is, Chungus, you're gonna have to make a choice. Either you make it work and be miserable, or you pick your peace and sanity. You can't have both. Because if you could have had both, you would have had it already.
Yep. And that is the sad part, because again, like I said, what is more important, your peace and sanity or that of your child?
I mean, children can thrive with co-parenting. You know what I'm saying?
I know that. I'm more getting to the point of having to kind of make it work. So even if it differs with his peace necessarily, just so that kid can have peace. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So having to make it work in that scenario. I'm not saying the kid's not in peace. I'm just saying making it
No,
work. So it's
yeah.
a more peaceful environment for the kid.
Yeah, but also kids see things. So if your kid's seeing you struggling and all this other shit, then he's gonna think that that's the way a man loves a woman.
Yeah, gotta
You know what I'm
make sure
saying?
again that
And
that's also
yeah,
can't be a thing.
yeah. So Anthony goes, serious question. Why do you think the Latino community has a struggle in general admitting that we have mental issues? Do you know why? The reason I see it as is because the Latino community is so competitive in which family has the better family, that when you say that someone has mental issues or someone's talking to someone else, it almost looks like a scar on it. It looks like weakness, because we don't have much, but we have a pride, and our pride is everything. And when you sit there and go, "Oh, my son is going to college," oh yeah, nigga, my son's a doctor. Oh yeah, my son's a fucking Navy veteran that fucking got the Medal of Honor. Oh yeah, my son went to space, and it's like, all right, cool. Meanwhile, everybody in the family like, why are you arguing with this shit? Because it's like, yo, in this family, we don't have issues. We're strong. We deal with our shit and we keep it moving. You put up that facade because we don't want there is no fear in this dojo. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah.
And it's because of our pride.
And again, it's the issue because this is why we start to believe that we can't. This is going back to the topic we just had of not wanting to vent, not wanting to be vulnerable, not all this, because it's instilled that we have to have this strength, we have to have this pride, and it comes with that because they've every TV show has made fun of the Latin parents and all that being like, no, my son can't have ADHD or depression. It's just a phase. It's just
Yeah, I
and it's
taught him
like
better than that.
it's like and the unfortunate situation is that's not just Latinos.
That's
That's not
everything.
just us. There's a lot of communities like that. And it's just unfortunately how society is that it's like we rather say it's everything else but what it is.
Yeah,
Because mental health to this day, it's still taboo as much as it's not. Or at least, correction, it's still taboo even though it shouldn't be. And the reason it's still this taboo is because people still don't understand that mental health is a real thing
yeah.
and that people every day do deal with these things and do deal with the decision of wanting to unalive themselves every single
And
day.
and the thing is, most people realize that. Oh, so most people don't realize that when because everyone has those moments. Some people decide this isn't normal. I'm gonna get help for it, and other people go, well, I'm just gonna deal with it myself because everyone has mental issues. Some are more severe than others.
Yep.
Everyone deals with stuff. Everyone can benefit from talking to somebody, and they just go, "Oh no, I got friends," or blah, blah, blah. I could deal with it myself, and all this other shit. Some people can't deal with it themselves
Yep.
because they can't control the urge to want to do that, or they can't cope with the fact that their sadness has overwhelmed them. You know what I'm saying? So it seems like, oh, it seems like there's something wrong with this person. You know what I'm saying? And like the family's like, oh no, my kid is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with you. You're perfectly fine. Where mental is not something you can judge. Like,
Yeah.
if you broke your
Or you
leg, we
shouldn't
see
judge.
that.
Yeah, it
No,
shouldn't be
no, I mean
shouldn't be
like
judged.
a judge in a terms of health and shit like
Oh,
that.
okay, okay, yeah, I
Like,
get
we
it.
can't measure that. There you go. You can't
Yeah,
measure that.
there you go. Because I was like, wait, people do
Yeah, yeah.
unfortunately judge it. That's the
No,
issue,
yeah, yeah.
and that's where we get to that
Yeah, it's
point
like
of
you get
people
sick.
don't want to. Yep.
Yeah, you get sick. You can measure that with like your body temperature, the way you're doing this, your diet, all that. You break your leg, you measure it with MRIs and how the muscles healing and your strength and all that. Your mental health is all you.
Yep.
You don't show it, like you show it, but that whole thing goes with, oh, he's just tired or he's just depressed or it's a bad day or something like that. Meanwhile, in your head, you're hearing, yo, I'm not worth it, or everything happens to me. I used to have this joke that wasn't really a joke. That when I was younger, it was me versus God. And every time I was trying to get something good, something would fuck it up. And I would be like, literally, I would go, one more for this nigga. And it got to the point where my boy just started dying laughing. And it wasn't so powerful that I believed it, but it was just way I got it off my chest. It was just a way
And
But
even
there are
in
some
that
people,
moment, that is
yeah,
it's that cathartic. Just like you need to say it,
yeah, yeah.
you know.
But there's some people that live in that. I lost another one. Like like I'm never winning a battle. I'm never getting anything good. I'm never doing this. I'm never doing that. And it's like, well, what the fuck am I here for? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then you need that outside perspective because it's hard to talk to yourself in a way where because some people they buy into it or they just that's it. This is set in stone.
Yep.
I'm a loser. I'm this. I'm that. I don't have any friends. I don't. Meanwhile, they don't see the forest between the trees.
No, and it is an issue. And again, it's something where even when that's farthest from the truth, your mind makes you believe that. and you get to that point of just this is what we see, even though it's not true. But you guys think it's a generational thing, also that older generations and the Latino community never really talked about. When they see our generation being more open about it, they look at us as being weak because we're more comfortable talking.
You know,
Okay.
the thing was, all right. I want to say this without sounding malicious to the people that really are affected by it.
Yeah.
But I think that it became mainstream with social media because everyone was bitching about their problems. And everyone just so happens to talk about their mental health about shit that really isn't that big of a deal. So now the mainstream get it and they go, oh, Pokemon. And listen, I'm not saying that she said this. I'm just throwing a name out there. And like
Yeah.
Pokemon said that she suffers with depression because of this. And you sit there and like, she could. I'm not doubting it. But boy, would I want to have that depression with all that money in my fucking bank account. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like it became mainstream because now all these superstars and it's people start looking at it like, oh, I guess being depressed is the thing to do now.
Yeah.
It's the fad.
You know what's the issue though is that again you're using that example, it works. The
Yeah.
is that people that again she might be, again, and I believe they definitely showed that she dealt with a lot of depression and just social anxiety, even though she's in front of a camera.
Yeah.
Those people a lot of times are dealing with it. We've seen it. Look at
Yeah.
fucking Robin Williams,
Yeah.
someone that we thought was the happiest guy on earth. He does what he had to do because he was the one battling with a lot of fucking depression.
Yeah.
And you don't see it. And the issue is when they magnify those things and people think, oh, this is going to get them help. Sometimes it makes it worse. Because that's what we magnify, but we forget there's people that are silently battling this and are dealing with their things. And again, yes, social media, like a lot of things, it boosts it more and it makes it become a trend instead of letting it actually be what it is. And it's an actual battle for people. Because there are people,
Yeah.
again, who are dealing with this and are going through this. And to answer Anthony, though, in consensus with that, though, like I said, it's not just a Latino thing. It's just been, unfortunately, for older generations, it just felt like this wasn't something that was talked about because you dealt with things.
Oh.
And the thing is, I will say this. It's not like this hasn't always been a thing.
Yeah.
But like Toe said, social media makes it something bigger. And
Yeah.
now it's just talked about. The issue is that people don't realize this has always been a thing. We just thought, oh, this person did this because fuck it, that's why. Because
Yeah.
there's been a lot of reasons why people unfortunately end up unaliving themselves. And we just never talked about it. There's a lot of people that gone through this. People that you're like, oh man, I wonder why did this person like, because they'll never say it was that a lot of times.
Yeah.
There's a lot of celebrities back in the day when they didn't talk about anxiety, depression, all that. They end up one day just so and so passes away because of unknown
Overdose.
causes.
Yeah.
And it's like, you'll be like, oh man, but with that much money and this and that, it's like money doesn't, unfortunately, at times cure happiness or depression. It doesn't bring that happiness. For us right now, we're in the situations we're like,
Well,
yo,
because
money would fucking do so much for me.
because here's the thing.
Yeah.
The more popular you are, the more alone you are.
Yeah.
And most of the time the depression comes from that emptiness. Like we all suffer loss, right? So we all go through that depression stage. There's a hole in you that you try to fill.
Yep.
And you try to fill it with substance, so you try to fill it with people, you try to do this and that. When you're rich, you just have more buckets of water to fill this hole.
Yep.
And this hole does not get filled by material things, by other people, by substances and all the other shit. I still have the hole for missing for my mother and me, but you fill it with who you lost. You fill it with what you is. So your loneliness is very hard to cure.
Yep.
In a world where everyone wants to be around you.
Yep.
If that makes sense.
No,
So
it does.
for
And
us,
it's such a difficult thing to look at.
yeah.
And see.
For us, I can sit here and say, oh, I wish I was depressed with all that money because I'm not looking to fill a hole. I'm not I don't have social anxiety. I don't face the problems that they face. So for me, I'm saying shit, the only issue I got is money. So you want to trade that? Like, I'll take the money because that's my problem, and then you could take what I'm got. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to say that because money's the only thing we see is our issue. You know what I'm saying? So it's that's why people say that a lot. Like, you know, Robin Williams. If you didn't see it coming, but if you watch his stand up, you see it. He had a very sad face most of the time.
No, and no, but I say that because again,
Yeah, no, it was shocking.
Yeah, it was very
He brought
shocking.
so many people joy and shit.
Yeah, and it's one of those where again, people say, "Oh, but they didn't see it coming." But like you said, if you actually listen and you know these things, you start to see.
Yeah,
he had a very depressing. His speech was very like that.
Yeah, and
Like,
I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, it's all good.
But being the age that I am, and I keep referring to my age, but my generation started, and adapted new ways of being. Like when I grew up, the consoles wasn't 2-bit or 8-bit consoles anymore. The video games, they went to 64-bit.
Yep.
We had technology. I went from answering machines to caller ID, beepers to cell phones to two-ways to smartphones. You know what I'm saying? We went from faxes to emails, from emails to instant messages to video chats. You know what I'm saying? And then we go from this is what you go to school for, or you go into a trade. Now you're going to school for a trade, and you needed school to get a job. But we also went from fuck school, you need experience to get a job. So back in the day, and I'm not putting anything lightly, but it was almost easier to live. You didn't have these machines. You had to remember people's numbers.
Yep.
You had to go out there and talk to people. You had to make friends. You had to experience life. You had to go out to meet people. You had to do all this. You had to be more social.
You had to live.
Yeah, and like they would I was a part of that stage. We didn't have phones. We went outside. We played wiffle ball. We went and did that shit. We went to school. We made all this. We met each other after school. We did this. We had separate friends, separate locations, separate different things.
Yeah, no, and that was the thing. It was more social, and it was again living. But now it's become almost that scenario of everything is just here.
So that was it was limited to the fact where I said, "Yo, I want to be a wrestler." You're not gonna be no fucking wrestler. Okay, then what can I be? My uncles were mechanics. My uncle, my other uncle loved cars. Our car always broke down. Fuck it, I'm gonna be a mechanic.
Yeah.
My brother, what you want to be when you grow up? I don't know. Fuck it, I'll go to the military. It was easy. It was easy to sit there and be like, oh, what do you want to be? My father's a doctor, so I'm gonna be a doctor. Or, I got hooked up with this job in Con Edison or some other city shit. Take the city exam, get in the city shit, and do that. That was easy. That was life. Now, so many people are figuring out how to become millionaires without doing nothing. Everyone goes, oh shit, the world's open to us. There's so many possibilities. When there's so many possibilities, everybody goes, who the fuck am I? Who am I?
Yep.
What do I want to be? Like, you know what I'm saying? And now you putting yourself out there, and you got a degree but no experience, you can't get a job. Or you go to school for a certain thing, you can't find shit there, or you're stuck here and you're doing all this other shit. And then now you have people talking about depression and all this shit builds up to the point where it's like so much pressure on you to be someone at 28, 29, 30 years old. And also, when you was 30 years old back in the day, you was making a wage where you can buy a house and raise a family on one income. On 3 incomes, I'm struggling to make rent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that is what, again, just it's insane to think, again, when everything allegedly is supposed to make things easier, it's almost made it even more stressful. And again, it's made it more challenging to do the most simplest thing, and that's live. And that's what this has become. That's why it's become a thing of all this being more out there. The idea of mental health and the idea
And-
of stress and the
and
idea of all this being out there.
and also you have to live in a facade now, right? So think about this. Back in the day, you went out, you had fun, people saw who you were, they enjoyed you for you. You met a girl like that, you kick game to her, you talk to her. Even on the internet, it was, oh, we just talking to everybody, you seem cool, blah blah blah. Now, I can't get a response to save my life, no matter what I do. And unless a person would be like, damn, I'm not good enough for that. But I know it's I'm not presenting myself in a way that they like, because I don't go past who I am. I don't fake shit. But when you get to talk to someone in person, they get to see who you are. And so now we're behind this phone, we're behind this screen, faking everything just to get a taste, to get a foot in the door.
No.
And we're overextending ourselves and and compromising our self-worth and our self-respect for nothing most of the time, because a lot of people are out there doing stupid shit for YouTube, not getting any views. A lot of people out there, fucking putting out these profiles on dating websites, and they're putting other people's pictures. They're putting false information. They're trying to, and then it's for what? To be rejected just because, like, oh, the truth is I'm not really Maurice Chestnut. You know what I'm saying? And that takes a mental toll on you. You don't know who you are, and you don't know who you have to be in order to get anything, because you're hiding behind a screen.
And that's the saddest part, when there are people who genuinely try to be themselves and they realize, or not even that they realize it, they start to they start to believe that genuinely just being themselves isn't enough.
Yeah.
And that's when it's sad. That's when it starts to get to that point where you get all this. You start to see more depressing side of things. You start to see people struggle through that. And this is something, again, we will say here, and again, take it with a grain of salt, take it for what it's worth. Never allow that to consume you. Never allow that point of me being me isn't good enough. Fuck what people say.
Word.
You have to be able to have that
my tips to
comfortability.
fuck people.
Hey, that's been a tip of the day.
Yeah.
Being able to have that. Again, this is why I gotta listen to the tips of the day.
Word.
It's one of those of being able to have that comfortability in your own skin, because again, end of the day, you are you, and that's it. That's the best thing you could be, no matter what you do in this life, no matter what you do today, what you do tomorrow, what you do an hour from now, what you do after you click off of this. Which, make sure if you haven't already, click that like, subscribe, all that good stuff. But being able to feel like this is who I am and I'm proud to be it, you're winning half the battle right there, because this life is too short to be like, let me be this, let me do this. That's putting extra work when it's not needed. Life is already challenging as is. So trying to be someone else when you're not, it doesn't help it. It makes it more challenging. Be able to find who you really are, and then from there taking that journey. Because you can't take anyone else's. I can't take Toe's journey. Toe can't take mine. If somehow ours align, then that's cool. It is right now. We're doing the podcast.
Yep.
We got a whole crew that our journeys are aligning for this point. Unfortunately, one day it might separate. We might have to go our own ways. That happens. That's life. But being able to know that, again, you're finding your way to get to your own journey, and that's how it has to be. It's making sure, again, it's yours. It has to be yours, because you can't focus on it trying to be someone else's or trying to make it so this is the journey. Like we talked about, full circle to one of the first topics we talked about. A lot of this is already there for you. So don't try to change it because you feel like it has to be this. This can't be my thing. It's like, no, it is. Be comfortable with it. Find it. Find what makes it peaceful, what makes it organic, and what makes it you.
Yep. Shit. And I'll let you do the. We talked about the isolated thing, but
Oh yeah,
d-
we've hit on that
yeah,
a lot, man. Because
yeah.
um, it
I've
can
been
be.
there. I've been around people and felt alone, but that just comes from the like we said the moments of depression and being inside your own head and all that other shit.
Bro,
You
I've
feel
been at
isolated because
shows.
you isolate yourself. Yeah,
Bro, I've been at shows legit where it's fucking so many people there, and you just get that moment of like you feel like you don't know anyone there,
yeah,
and you don't no, and not even just that. It feels like none of these people care, and that's the
yeah,
depressing point. When it's one of those where it could be a few hundred people around you, and that's what creates that anxiety. That creates all this because it's like you just feel alone. Moments like that, it's scary, but again, you have to persevere. You have to try to get through it because if not, again, those that it becomes scary. It becomes a very
yeah,
scary moment. Your mind plays those tricks on you. To that
yeah.
to that second part of it though, I agree to an extent. Unfortunately, the lockdown definitely that lack of human interaction definitely made people go a little crazy. But again, that's always kind of been a thing though.
If
Like,
I'm gonna be completely honest with you,
yeah.
I don't think the lockdown made people go crazy. I think the fact that someone said you can't leave your house made people go crazy. No one gives a shit about going and seeing other people. Bullshit. Everyone and their mother is, at least in New York, everyone and their fucking mother is too rude to be going, oh, I need to go see my friend, blah, 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 blah. Nah. Nah.
You know what's funny about that
I
is
know
that
for a
that's
fact.
when everyone wanted to go out, but it's
Yeah. When they said you couldn't.
like
I think the worst part of COVID was the aftermath. When you started realizing the government don't give a shit. Your job don't give a shit. The people that are supposed to care about you. I'm talking about like I don't want to say the hospitals because they dealt with a lot of stuff. I work with one, but they don't give a shit. You start seeing that mask of yeah, we care about you comes down, and you see the Wizard of Oz is not a green monster. He's just a man in the back that don't give a shit about you. And now you're doing more than you ever did in your life at a job with less pay than you deserve, and they expect you to keep that shit. That's the worst part of COVID. They took advantage of our niceness. And they expect you to not be mad that they took advantage of you because now that they're getting more production for less money, that should be your job.
no.
So now people are starting to realize the true effect of COVID. It unmasked the workforce. So many people got fired and laid off because they don't want to take the vaccine. Do you know that they're threatening people now? If you don't get the flu shot, we're going to have to let you go.
Really?
The flu shot has always been by choice. You should not be able to dictate what goes in my body. You know what I'm saying? But they started getting too comfortable with it. Once they dictated that the COVID vaccine goes in your body, they're dictating everything else. And that is the worst part of fucking COVID. And they're going to distract us with another shooting, another kid dying and all that, because I'm a true believer. It's sad. Trayvon Martin. I mean, Junior and all of them, they died. And I've said this before. That's about 2-3 weeks of distraction from what they're fucking doing to us. And then we're going to go back to our shit. You think people still give a shit? The family of Junior does. You think the rest of society that went crazy over it when it first happened gives a shit? No. You think Lala's sitting right now crying because, oh, it's the anniversary of Junior's death? People don't even know that it's the anniversary of fucking Big Pun's death or Kobe's death. We about to come up to Biggie's death right now in March. The only reason why I know that is because the anniversary of his death is my mother's birthday. You know what I'm saying? They distract us with so much shit here. And everyone is dealing with it. Why? because we have become enslaved with the fact that if I don't have my job, I can't live. It's not if I don't have my job, I can't go on a vacation. I can't live.
Yep.
I don't have my job, I get kicked out of my house. I get kicked out of my house, I can't go nowhere else. I'm on the street. There's too much power in this workforce for that. Back and for nothing.
Legit.
That's the thing. For legitimately nothing. Because if I was sitting here going, yo, I need my job because I bought a house and I need to pay. Not I need my job so I could pay rent for someone else to fucking live off of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need my job because I have 12 kids. And this is the only means of support we have because my wife is a stay-at-home wife. And we go on vacation once a year. I'm struggling to live now with this job. And you fuck me over at the darkest point of this country's fucking, or this planet's existence?
No.
And for what? I'm surprised there isn't more fucking riots from that. We burned down Fordham because they killed someone in fucking another state. When they killed George Floyd, they burned down Fordham during the riots.
Yep.
I was on the bus going through all that shit because of George Floyd. Not one person is giving a shit about when they do it right in our fucking face.
Nope.
That's the worst part of COVID.
Yeah.
Besides everyone dying, because that's bad in itself. But the aftermath, that's
yeah. No, and that's something that we're still seeing to this day. We're still seeing just the true aftermath of it, and it's an unfortunate situation that it almost becomes worse because it's still taboo, like so many other subjects. So many people aren't willing to talk about this, don't want to talk about this, and it's one of those where I don't know if there'll ever be a right time, if that makes sense, to talk about it.
what about
Just because-
COVID?
No, just about not even about COVID, just the after effects
Oh
of
yeah,
what it did and what it created, and just what the situation created, and just the stuff that again people don't want to discuss.
yeah.
But it's another one of those of finding the right time for anything. That if that's the one consensus of this whole episode, is finding the right time to talk about things that it's needed, because even this, being able to say that, being able to get to that point is releasing something that we're all thinking about, we're all feeling. And it's a moment that you need to have. So if anyone learned from anything today is don't keep those things in. Talk about it. Find that someone that you can talk to this about. Again, it could be friend, family, partner, parents. Shit, talk to your dog about it. Legit. Sometimes your pets are the best companion for that. And we laugh, but sometimes it is. It's just hey.
People don't understand. Animals they love you unconditionally. Also,
They do. Again, I've had full blown conversations with my dog, and she looks at me, and it's like feels like she's listening. So again, and even that, she might not be able to respond, but being able to talk about it, let that out, it feels better.
Yeah.
So again, everyone, to start your weekend off, again, find that peace, find that happiness. Everyone enjoy your weekends. Don't get too stressed out Sunday, because I know a lot of people gonna lose some money Sunday.
Yeah, word.
A lot of people gonna lose their money, but enjoy the commercials. Hopefully we get that amazing Deadpool commercial.
Yeah, right.
I still want that to be fucking low. I want it to be the funniest shit ever. That's all I want it to be.
Word. Let's put it out there that I'm gonna win my numbers in the box.
Yo, fact. If you don't see us here next week, Toe is a millionaire, and that's it. We out.
Right, shit.
But if you do see us on Monday, because we'll be back with the Raw watch along, we'll complain about it there. But,
you see us on Monday, you hear fucking bitch. I don't know why this thing for some.
Oh no! We suck again!
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh man. But thank you guys for watching us. As always, thank you for the support. We appreciate every single one of you. And that's a subject for another day. Yeah, because that's definitely one of those where that could be a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
But again, we thank you all for supporting. Thank you guys for watching us last week. Like we said, we're gonna try to make that work and see if we can do more like that, because as much as we love this, doing that was a cool environment just to be able to, again, be in the same room, have those moments. And yeah, well, we love you all. And as always, don't forget to go fuck yourselves.
Word. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it's your friendly neighborhood Knuckleheads signing out. Peace, everybody. Thanks, Joseph. And Chungus, don't let their passing prevent you from spreading your love to others.